Good morning, everybody. Mike Missanelli Show. It's on the air. Start the show. A little Phillies action. They are now a half game behind the Mets as they get ready to go into a weekend series with the Yankees beginning tomorrow. Your playoffs right now have the Brewers in the number 1 slot, Dodgers 2, then 3 Mets, 4 Cubs, 5 Phillies, 6 Padres. That means the first round, the Phillies would have to go to Chicago and play that mini series. And if they win that series, they would have to go to the Brewers. Now, a lot can happen. First place could be interchanged very quickly here with the Brewers and the Dodgers and the Mets and all the teams that are involved in the playoffs. But last night was not a good loss because the statistic of it, with them leading by such a large margin, was like incredible, and they gave it up. And that's the big problem. The problem is not Rob Thompson today. I know a lot of people, it's so easy. You look at him, hey, he sucks, he got to go. What's he doing leaving Lazardo in there? Why would he have Weston Wilson stealing? We're going to go into that in a second. But how does a major league pitcher not be able to pitch in the stretch? I mean, that's the major problem here. It's not Rob Thompson. It's the fact that my man Lazardo had a big lead, and as soon as he had to go in the stretch, he's got nothing. Now, I'm not a pitching coach. I'm not Caleb Cotham. But his next bullpen session should be all in the stretch. Like, I don't understand this. You got good enough stuff to get out in the windup or the stretch. Why are you having such a problem? It doesn't make any sense to me that a major league pitcher would have a problem in the stretch. So I'm not going to go to the Rob Thompson angle today, but we need to talk about it. When would you have taken out Lazardo is the question. Let's go to the 6th inning. Double, walk, strikeout, pop out. There are 2 outs when he walks. The base is loaded. Now he's got the bases loaded. Now, are you bringing in a guy there with the bases loaded? The guy you're bringing in is Romano. He's the guy who's starting in the bullpen. Reif Snyder walks a run in. Do you take him out there? I don't know. Want to bring Romano in with the bases loaded? Duran walks, another run scores. Do you take him out there? I'm just asking the question. Be the manager here, and you tell me where it's easy to take the guy out when you got Romano as your best choice to bring him in with the bases loaded. Now, do you bring him in to face the right-handed hitter there? Romy Gonzalez. I don't know. I guess in hindsight, because the guy hit a salami, that you would have made the pitching change there. But I don't know when the right time to take him out there when you don't trust your bullpen in that area of the game. And therein lies the problem. This is a bigger conversation on why the Phillies have to add a bullpen arm. Because you got to get to the high leverage situations, and they don't have anybody who can get to the high leverage situations. He knows it, and therefore he had a longer leash on Lazardo. Is that his fault? Well, if you want to blame him, fine. The manager is always the guy that you want to blame. Ray, let's stop right there. Ray Dunn is with me today. Ray, when would you have taken him out?
It's easy to say right now before he gave up the grand slam. The back-to-back walks to walk-in runs is probably the point in which I'm like, all right, this guy's gone.
So when you walk Reif Snyder and then you walk Duran, the left-handed batter, he's cooked. You're taking him out.
At that point, you're like, yeah, all right, let's get this guy out of here. He clearly doesn't have it right now. Okay. Walking guys home, if they're making contact, the ball bloops in, or they find a way, they find a little bit of grass where they end up making contact, you're making competitive pitches, fine. But when you end up walking back-to-back guys with the bases loaded, that's a guy right now that just doesn't have it.
Okay. Now, in his head, he's going, what the F? I got to use Romano here to try to get one guy out, which means I burn him. Then I got to bring another guy in for the 7th. I got nobody out there to get through the 6th and 7th inning. Maybe I give Lazardo a chance to get out of this. At least I'll start the next inning with a relief pitcher.
Oh, I totally understand his reasoning behind it, and people can be mad at Rob Thompson all they want. Jesus Lazardo is a professional pitcher. You got to be able to throw out of the stretch. This is a problem that's not just yesterday. It's amplified by yesterday, but this is a problem since he had those 2 horrid outings. since they've tried to correct the mechanics and where his hand placement is so he's not tipping pitches, he has not been able to throw out of the stretch. And that's not something that makes you a valuable pitcher come October. We've talked about putting him into the bullpen and what he could do for you out of the pen come October. If he can't pitch out of the stretch, that means he can't come in any situation in which there's a runner on base out of the pen. He has to come in a clean inning, which limits his upside there substantially.
It's frankly ridiculous that a major league pitcher can't pitch out of the stretch. I really don't understand it at all. But you're right about that bullpen thing. He's the candidate. You go, okay, that's the guy you can move into the bullpen. He's got enough stuff in high leverage situations. But if he walks a guy even in a clean inning, then you got the stretch, and he's going to wriggle his way out of it, and that could be a problem. And that is a problem. And that is why you need to have another bullpen guy in here. This is a longer conversation because it kind of lends itself to what Jason Stark was saying, that their priority more is an arm than a bat. All right, let's continue this. Let's go to the bottom of the 10th. Schwarber, 1-out single. He gets pinch ran for by Weston Wilson. Now, I don't know. I look at Weston Wilson and I go, does he have wheels? Average runner. Why would you bring a guy in to pinch run for a slugger? I told you my rule is I would never take a slugger out of a game. Schwarber has had some timely stolen bases, but I just wouldn't steal there. I'd have Schwarber in the game anchored. Now, there was some conjecture as to whether Weston Wilson was given a sign to steal or whether he did it on his own. Now, most major league players, they trust guys to know situations, and very rarely do they give steal signs anymore. They trust the guy to go on his own. So Weston Wilson got thrown out by 100 feet. All right, it was ridiculous. Now, let's hear Rob Thompson's explanation, Ray, on this whole scenario.
We're running on a bullpen at that point, so I won't win the ball game right then. And Willie's a good base stealer. If Castellanos hits the ball in the gap from first, he can score. And at that point, after he got one strike on him, I want to turn him loose just to see if we can steal a base.
All right, so it was afraid of his bullpen. He didn't have any arms, and he wanted to win the game right there. Willie is a good base stealer. Can you check on this for me, Ray? I don't know if he's got a stolen base this year, and very, very sparse time with the big club. Was he stealing a lot of bases at AAA?
This season at AAA, he has a whopping 4.
He's got 4 stolen bases. Willie's a good base stealer. Now, I see this. That's a decision that I do not understand. Like, why would you? Did he have him steal there, or did Wilson try to steal and he's just protecting him? Did he actually say we had the steal sign on? He didn't really say that, did he?
No. He said, I want him to get
Willie's
a steal
a good base stealer.
He seems like he might be taking one for Weston Wilson in that case. Wilson, if you go back to 2023, just to give full context here, did have 30 steals down there in AAA.
He had 30 steals in AAA last year.
But when you say that he is an average base runner, last night the first thing I did was open up StatCast page to see where he was in terms of ranking sprint speed across baseball. Literally 50th percentile.
Yeah.
In that situation, Mike, it's easy to say when it was not even competitive when he gets thrown out. I'm not stealing. I don't care that Castellanos might swing through a slider that's in the opposing or the opposite batter's box. I'm not stealing.
I'm not pitch running for him. I'm not taking Schwarber out of the game. You don't know how long that game can go. You can't say I'm trying to win it now because I got a lack of a bullpen. If the game continues, and it's probably not going to continue much longer with the ghost runner, he might come up again in 2 innings. I never do that. With a guy who can end the game with a home run, I never take him out.
I don't think, I like to think of it the reverse. If they had not taken him out and Schwarber ends up on third on a double from Castellanos there, today are we looking at the bench saying, Well, why in the world wasn't Weston Wilson running for
No,
him?
we're not saying that,
Exactly.
are we?
So that's why the decision to me seems wrong.
If it's Rojas, yeah, but Rojas is already in the game.
Right.
There's nobody you can choose there that's going to give you that much of an advantage. That's just a foolish decision. Now, did they lose the game? No. Lazardo not being able to pitch from the stretch lost the game. All right, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some update with our Eagles training camp. We just heard a defensive coordinator speak. And we got a bigger topic a little later. It involves a little leaguer. This is going to stir in the masses. The bat flip from the little leaguer in Haddonfield. 610-632-0975. That's how you get into the Mike Missanelli Show. We're back after this. Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5. The Fanatic opened the show with some Phillies talk, but we'll get some. Think about training camp. It's great because you get the impressions that are followed by all the people that are covering the team. And yesterday we got some impressions we'll go over. Today there'll be more impressions. Then if we get them currently, we'll let you hear them. It looked like A.J. Brown had a big day yesterday, and A.J. wants to be the best receiver in the league this year. He's determined to be the best receiver in the league. A lot of people think that he is going to bust loose this year and have an incredible season. How you feeling about A.J. Brown, Ray?
Passing game coordinator's now the offensive coordinator? How about it? Let's have a big year for A.J., especially if we're talking about a more balanced offense for this team from running to passing. I mean, it only makes sense that Hurts' favorite target would be the one that ends up having the big season.
Yeah.
We're just going to get the slant every 5 plays, just a slant over the middle.
Hurts,
150 catches.
Hurts to Brown yesterday. Best offensive pass moment, 2 throws. First came when Brown and Mitchell got into a hand fight down the right sideline. Both players were aggressive, but the former came out the victor. Brown caught the pass, and Mitchell was flagged for pass interference. On the second play, Brown went up and snatched a back shoulder pass over Ringo. and he says, I truly feel like I'm the best in the league, and I want to put a stamp on it. Running back Saquon Barkley got his share of work on the ground, peeled off a couple of would-be long runs. Will Shipley appeared shot out of the cannon on a few carries. You can't hold Will Shipley down, Ray.
Apparently not. This is the year. RB2.
DeJean was around the ball all day. I've been worried about Cooper, but apparently he's fine.
I actually heard he deflected a pass and yelled, "Take that, Mikey Miss."
Did he?
I'm going back to the Ocean Drive this weekend.
Yeah. Nothing phases me. Not young 21-year-old girls at the OD, nothing. All right. Let's go to the text line and see what we say here about the Phillies.
Yeah, we got an unnamed texter here checking in saying, "I don't care what Lazardo was doing. It's all on Rob Thompson. You have to get your pitcher at that point. He should know better. He's been in baseball way too long to make a mistake like that."
What? You got to get your pitcher. So, I go, when do you get him? It is clear that Rob Thompson in his head's going, I got more confidence in Lazardo than I have in Romano in this situation. I mean, really, and what would you be thinking? It's one thing to say, you got to get your starter out of there. You got to look at the alternative. That's the guy you have warming up for the 6th. Are you telling me you're going to have more confidence in Romano or Lazardo to get him out of the game? Like, what you got to think this through here, like a manager is thinking it through. In general, he has more confidence in Lazardo than he does Romano. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. And in the principle I just spoke about in the last segment, if the decision was to go to Romano and Romano gives up that grand slam today, could we have the legitimate argument that you should have stuck with Lazardo?
Oh, exactly.
Like,
and
that makes
that's
it
what fans
50-50.
Right. Fans have it any way they want, though.
Right.
But they're not thinking it through like a manager. It's like, yeah, if I've got somebody I have confidence in, the 6th inning can get me out of that inning, there's no question I go to him. The guy I got warming up here, the best I can do here in this situation is Romano. I'm not really that confident in him bringing him in this kind of a situation.
And also the situation itself, where you get 2 outs, you have 2 on, then the walks start happening, then you got to get him up. And are you going to be able to get him loose in time to really make him make a difference there? Because he says after the game that he would like to get him up quicker. Well, if he didn't get warmed up soon enough, like that's just a circumstance of the fact Lazardo imploded.
The problem is, are you going to get him up after he gets the pop out? He gets the 2nd out? Is that when you're getting him up? When do you get him up? Like when you have knowledge of what happened, it's easier to say, he should have taken him out. But again, I go, if I'm Thompson, I go, Jesus, do I really have enough confidence that I can bring in Jordan Romano in this bases loaded situation? And if he hits a home run, I'm going to get hammered by everybody? It's not that easy.
Here's the take of the day on the text board. We're only a half hour into this, not even, and we have the take of the day. Steve from Haverton. Rob is playing 4D chess, leaving Lazardo in for too long. He's getting us a discount on that next contract. Thompson sitting in the dugout. You know what? This will save Middleton some money down the line on Lazardo's deal.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, come on. It's really a matter. It's simple. Managing a game, and you go, oh my God. All right, he walked the guy. The bases are loaded. I can't get him now. I got to give him a chance to get out of this with the bases loaded. And he walked the guy, 2 outs. I can't bring Romano in here. Like, that would be foolish. He walks the next guy. All right, do I have confidence that he'll get the next guy out, or do I have confidence that Romano is the better pitcher in that situation? It's like you always go with your instinct on who you trust more. And in that situation, he's trusting Lazardo more. After the fact, it's easy to say he's an idiot for not taking him out of the game. Now, the other situation is different. You can legitimately blame Rob Thompson for the Weston Wilson thing if he's got Weston Wilson stealing. But in general, I blame him for choosing Weston Wilson to pinch run for Schwarber in the first place, which I don't think was necessary. So That's legitimate criticism.
That is legitimate criticism because, again, you play the other side of it. I don't know how many people across the Delaware Valley today would be pining for Weston Wilson to have been in that game if Schwarber ends up on 3rd instead of scoring on a Castellanos double.
The reactions are hysterical to me that if there's any kind of managerial mistake, he's got to go. Thompson's got to go. We can't continue with this manager. It's like, come on, man. Like, what is that about?
And that's not going to stop. Like that, this team, the whole all-in conversation, if they don't apply the ammunition for Thompson and this team to actually make a run at the deadline, I don't think we're talking about Rob Thompson here next year.
No, we're not. We're not. The way this plays out is if the Phillies don't get past the first round, he's not coming back.
Right.
They're going to be in the playoffs. If they don't get past the first round, they're going to change it. No question in my mind. But the Rob Thompson haters are really interesting to me. He doesn't do enough to have you hate him. Like, he plays basic strategies most of the time, and sometimes they work out, and sometimes they don't work out, like that last night. But, like, the change, like, what is it about Thompson that people don't gravitate? Like, Charlie Manuel can make a ton of mistakes, and Charlie Manuel is still beloved. This guy, the least little thing he does, they can't stand him. What is it? Is it the demeanor?
I think it's the demeanor.
It's the demeanor. It's like why people don't gravitate to Trey Turner. There's like a certain facial demeanor.
I don't know if they're the same in that.
Well, what is it, the demeanor of Rob Thompson, that bothers people?
I think it's just the lack of fire. Like, people want him to be fiery, what they think of a baseball manager from, like, the late 20th century, early 21st century. And you don't get that from him. You never get it from him. Like, even
it's
Charlie.
2025.
Right. Well, even Charlie, like, you get some really animated ejections. And it's like you don't get that at all from Thompson. You would think that a guy who, in terms of Phillies history, guys who've managed over 300 games for the Phillies, he's the winningest one by percentage. You would think that guy resonates because they just win. But similar to the way some people feel about Sirianni in this town, they just think, hey, he's got a talented roster. That roster is going to win whether he's there or not. I mean, they weren't winning before him, majority.
I think he's a steady hand as a manager.
I agree.
I don't think he wins or loses games by himself. The problem last night is they had a starting pitcher who's been in the league for enough years to be able to pitch from the stretch, which I truly don't get. All right, 610-632-0975. On the other side, I got to bring this up because I see there's somebody who wants to talk about it. A little leaguer at a bat flip was suspended from playing in the regionals. And guess what? I agree with it. Let's get more discipline with these youngsters. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies failed to sweep. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies handed Jesus Lazardo a 5-0 lead, and Lazardo had a no-hitter going into the fifth inning. And then from there, Lazardo surrendered 6 runs in that inning and the lead. The Phillies tied it in the 8th on a JT Realmuto home run. The two sides went to extras, where they traded runs in the 10th, but the Phillies couldn't match the Red Sox 2 runs in the 11th, losing the game 9-8. Lazardo's struggles out of the stretch continued in the loss, and post-game, he addressed it.
Out of the windup clearly isn't the problem. It's when we get in the stretch. So, I mean, yeah, clearly it's not working. So, working tirelessly at seeing what we got to do to fix it. Back to the drawing board in terms of that.
Phillies off today before a weekend set up in New York against the Yankees that begins Friday night on Apple TV. It's day 2 of training camp practices down at the NovaCare Complex. Day 1 featured a majority of Keely Ringo at the second outside corner spot. Sidney Brown getting the first crack at the safety spot opposite of Reed Blankenship. We also got to see rookie Jahad Campbell get on the field. Vic Fangio spoke to the media earlier today and said that Campbell looked fine out there for where he is right now. This update is brought to you by Family Jewelers. Getting engaged, get a ring that'll light her eyes up. See Angela and the team at Family & Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, South Jersey's diamond destination. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
10:28, Mike Missanelli Show. All right, let's get to this issue here. It's fascinating to me. A Haddonfield Little League player named Marco Rocco hit a home run in a game, which made the score 8-0. And he tossed his bat in the air to celebrate. The big backflip, threw it in the air, which they see on social media all the time from big league players. Made it an 8-0 blowout, prompted the umpire to eject him from the game for violating what's called the horseplay rule in the league. A lot of people think that it was harsh because when you throw a kid out of the game, he's suspended for the next game. And the next game happens to be a regional playoff game. One of the guys that's from the other team said the league needs to be more consistent with its messaging on what exactly is horseplay. If that's what they're promoting on social media, meaning the bat flips, and that's what kids are seeing, that's what they're going to do. Why do you have to do it? Well, just because they see it on social media, just because they see it, big league players do it, where is the rule that they have to do it? Where are the coaches that say, don't do it? In Little League, there's a mantra about sportsmanship. They have to repeat it before or after every game. You see the Little League World Series where they shake hands before the game, they do the Little League mantra? Why? And there are people out there going, oh, this sounds like a get off my lawn comment from an old guy. No, it doesn't. It's about sportsmanship. A bat flip for kids like that is unsportsmanlike. I know there's going to be a lot of people that kill me over this, and I'm prepared for it. Big league players have earned the right to do it these days in this day and age of baseball because they have gotten to the big leagues. They have accomplished what they need to do to go to the big leagues. Therefore, the bat flip becomes commonplace. When you're a little leaguer, you should live by a mantra, a little bit of good sportsmanship. And when you hit a home run to make it 8-0, a bat flip should get you thrown out of the game. And if the byproduct is you're suspended for a playoff game, well, that's tough noogies, as the kids say. Ray, I know you're not going to agree with me on this.
Not a chance in the world am I going to agree with you on this.
Why not?
Because, Mike, he hit a home run. He celebrated in the moment. He got to run the bases. He's having the time of his life. He's a kid having fun. He didn't throw the bat at anyone. I saw the video. It's not like he's staring down the pitcher, making vulgar suggestions towards the pitcher. He runs the bases and gets to celebrate himself doing something well. A lot of these guys get to bat flip in these Little League tournaments are not going to go play in college, in the minor leagues, in the major leagues. This is the fun they're going to have in their baseball lives. He flipped a bat. So be it. The Little League World Series on their website have highlights of Little Leaguers bat flipping. Were those guys then suspended for Little League World Series games? No. To suspend a kid for this, to me, is ridiculous. I don't understand why a kid having a good time doing something he sees major leaguers, little leaguers, everyone across baseball doing at this point in 2025, the fact he can't play in his next game
when you
is a disservice
the right to
his
bat
team.
flip, then you bat flip. When you're 11 years old and you hit a home run and make it 8-0, you don't bat flip. I don't care what he saw on social media or what he saw in the big leagues. There are coaches out there that are trying to teach the right thing. Character, courage, loyalty. That's what the Little League mantra is. I trust in God, I love my country, and will respect its laws. I will play fair and strive to win. But win or lose, I will always be my best.
So which one of those things did he violate?
He violated the I will play fair.
He played fair. He got a pitch. Fair. He hit it over the fence.
Flipped the bat high in the air
That's not about playing.
To humiliate the other team. That's fair?
That's celebrating your own accomplishment.
Your own accomplishment in an 8-0 game?
He hit a home run, Mike. He's celebrating a home run. He played fair. He got a pitch. He hit a nuke.
He hit a nuke.
That's what you do.
To me, there's a time to bat flip, and it ain't when you're 11 in a game, a regular Little League game, when the score's 7-0 already.
He's in a
I
tournament.
just don't like it. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't like the bat flip. Now, should he have been thrown out of the game? I don't know. I put the onus on the coaches. Hey, listen, fellas, I know what you see on social media. We're not going to play that way, though. We're not going to play that way. When you get to be a bigger star and you want to bat flip where it's acceptable, that's fine. We're not going to humiliate other kids who are 11 years old.
Is he humiliating the pitcher? Really?
He did. The bat flip does.
You're telling me that pitcher's never bat flipped? That pitcher doesn't like.
Doesn't matter what that pitcher did. I'm saying all bat flips should be governed by coaches. Coaches have the responsibility to teach these kids the right way to play, and that's not the right way to play.
So if it's governed by coaches, then let it be up to the coach whether or not he plays in the next game.
Well, you think a coach is going to suspend a kid for a playoff game?
You just said let it be governed by the coaches.
You think that the heat he would get from parents for putting a star player out of a game in a playoff game? You think he's got the courage to do it? These coaches that coach these kids now are going to have the courage to do that?
Well, if it's going to be governed by the coaches, let it be governed by the coaches. In that case,
what should be governed by the coaches is in practice. This is the way we're going to play. We're not going to bat flip.
And they can tell him that, and in the heat of the moment, he hits a home run in the biggest game of their season, and he's excited about it. He bat flips. He could get to second base and say,
he could be totally excited without flipping the bat the way he flipped it, okay? He can be excited.
Have you ever been excited and just your body take over for a moment? You do something?
Dude, you may know how many home runs I hit in Little League?
How many?
I hit a lot.
All right.
I never bat flipped once.
Was bat flipping in vogue at that point?
No, it was not in vogue. It was not in vogue back then. But that's not the point.
I mean,
the point is we were
point.
taught by coaches, hey, play the game the right way. And that helped me a lot going through what I went through.
This is part of the way the game's played now.
In major leagues it is. It shouldn't be elsewhere. It shouldn't be. Get to the major leagues, that's accomplishment. You can do anything you want. You're getting paid to play. Let's go to Scott in Delco. Scott, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Scott.
Yeah, hey, Michael.
What's up, Scott?
So you're spot on with all this.
I didn't expect that.
Well, here's the deal. So I'm a district administrator in Pennsylvania, been involved with Little League 25 years. You can't toss the bat like that. You can't be up 8-0, toss the bat 15 feet in the air, and expect the umpire not to make a decision. And really what this comes down to is the decision of the umpire. And I saw the video, and they conferred at second base. They knew the impact if they were to eject this player. A Little League rule then is you are suspended for the following game. And I agree with it. You can't show up a team like that. And all those kids know at that level what they're doing.
There is a creed in Little League.
Exactly.
I know there's a patch. You're taught, okay, this is what Little League is all about. It's about sportsmanship. It's about this. It's about that. Because those lessons you'll carry on in life, whether you play baseball down the road or not. But if you play baseball and you're good enough to get to the major leagues, then bat flip your ass off. I couldn't care less.
And I coached for years, and I always told my players, you be respectful. And you can't do that. So, and it really came down to the decision of the umpire.
You know, there are a lot of people out there saying this is an old mindset, and that we're the get off my lawn people.
Nah, can't do it. Can't do it.
All right, man. I appreciate it, Scott. Now, Scott, you called before.
Got it, man.
You called before I even brought this topic up. You called, so this was in your crawl, right?
Well, yeah, I heard it yesterday. I saw the video, and I saw when I saw the kid toss, throw the bat like that. I mean, if he would have tossed it from his hip up in the air 2 feet, nothing would have happened. But when you chuck it up like that, you're showing up the other team. Notably, when you're up 8-0, you can't do that.
Yeah,
not in Little League.
I hear you. And now, was that a violation of what they call the horseplay rule? Because that seems to be a very vague rule.
So I've never even heard of horseplay rules. So it's not a Little League rule. I think they're just making it up so they can have foundation of argument to say the kid should be brought back. That's not a Little League rule.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah. Well, it might be their league rule, no horseplay, but that can be interpreted, many ways. Is a bat flip horseplay? by that letter, it probably isn't. But again, I keep going back to what kids should be taught in Little League by their managers, by their administrators, by the Little League creed. It's supposed to be about sportsmanship. Yeah, you're trying to win and you're trying to advance in tournaments. You're trying to get to the Little League World Series. I got all that. But I don't mind this one at all. And I know I'm in the minority because people look at you're just an old man. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to foster sportsmanship. I like the bat flip when it comes to the major leagues. 610-632-0975. We're back after this.
The summer's here, and
I had not expected this topic would come up this early in the show. I wanted to talk about it sometime during the show because it's an interesting talking point. A Little League kid throwing a bat and gets suspended for the next game. I really expected, Ray, that today would be all about TJ McConnell's fascinating, teary-eyed piece in the Players Tribune.
Yeah, I was making sure I sent that to you multiple times.
Is the Players Tribune still going?
Yes, it is.
It is? I haven't heard about that in a long time, the Players Tribune.
Yeah, still rolling.
Well, anyway, TJ McConnell wrote a really thoughtful piece explaining why he cried after that game.
And I'm sure you found it in your heart to understand why.
I was broken up by it, frankly.
I'm glad.
And he identified that the person wasn't his mom who was consoling him. It was a member of the staff who he had gotten close to. But since this topic is on board here, there are so many people out there that I know disagree with me. And I just don't know how you can see it any other way other than not at 12, not at 11, age 11. Bat flip when the score's 8-0. If you win the game with a home run, I can see the excitement level. But it's like you're just following a script now. And that's where coaches have to come in and go, no, listen, don't follow that script. I know you see it on social media. I know you see it in big league baseball. but we're trying to develop you as good people here. It's not necessary to do that yet at your age. That's all. When I coach, I'll put that lesson in. And I may coach soon. You know, if I retire, maybe I grab a team. I would like to teach like the kids that are like 15, 16 age group. I don't know if I can handle little kids.
I look forward to seeing how that team does. I'll be there. I'll have my popcorn.
Oh, my team
cheering.
My team would be fundamentally sound, Ray.
It better be.
Fundamentally sound.
Nobody has belts with their number on it?
No white belts. No Versace belts.
Yeah.
It would all be team issue.
Got it.
All right? All right, let's go to the text board. Go ahead. Let's get me killed.
Mike, I'm 44 and I agree with you 100%.
What?
I was taught at a young age by my father that trash talks trash and class whips ass. There's always someone better out there, and you'll be humbled eventually. Until you make it to the major league, sportsmanship should be as much a part of the game as the rules for it. Brendan and Van
Wow, I am shocked at that. That's the first call. And I'm shocked that we had a caller that agreed with me. And again, like, I'm not putting a blanket statement out there that you can't have fun. I get it. It's fun. But I also get this social media corruption where you see all this stuff and kids think it's cool and they can't wait to do it. And I'm going, if I'm a coach, I go, we don't do that. Okay? We're going to play the game. You can have fun playing the game. Afterwards, we'll celebrate if we win. But we don't need the bat flip.
So
we don't need to do it like that extent. You know, you want to be excited. You want to punch through the air. After you drop the bat, run the bases, I got it.
You keep coming back to the coach thing here.
This
is something that was decided by the umpire.
It's the coach that would prevent the kid from doing it in the first place. It wouldn't have to even get to the umpire. If the coach were coaching the right way, that kid wouldn't have thrown the ball 20 feet in the air, thrown the bat 20 feet in the air.
So the kid has not been properly handled by the coach, thus the kid does that. The kid's punished. Like, it seems like you're putting the onus on the coach here.
The team is also punished, and that manager is punished because he doesn't have a good player playing at the next level. So if he would have taken care of it from the jump, it wouldn't have happened, and he would have had the kid playing.
I guess my struggle here is that the kid's losing out on that core childhood memory, and you're putting this on the coach.
The kid's losing out on what childhood memory? To play in that playoff game?
Correct.
Well, he did it. He did it to himself.
Okay, so it's not on the coach; it's on the kid.
It's on both of them. Okay, it's on both of them. The kid also. It's on the coach in general for not laying out that rule early on. And if he did and the kid violated, then it's totally on the kid. But the kid should also know better.
I just think personally, and this is from if I was in that situation, I hit the home run, I had bat flipped. Coaches I would have sat me down and talked about that with me. And my parents, for darn sure, when I got in the car on the way back home, would have been, yo, man,
okay,
congrats on the win. Great hit there. But what are we doing right there?
Okay. All right. So in general, you think it's wrong. So if it's wrong, it should be relayed to the kids before the fact that it happens.
And it could be. And a kid in the moment got caught up in the moment of doing something big in a big game. And now he's having the next game taken from him because he's a kid.
He made the score 8-0. He didn't do something big in a big game.
He
made
hit
the
a
score
home run
He
that
made
got
the
them
score
closer to a 10-run
8-0.
mercy. It's a home run that gets you close to the mercy rule. It's
You got to be kidding me. That's getting close to the 10-run mercy rule is exciting enough to throw a bat flip?
If you're moving on in a tournament to regionals and you're playing for something important, yes, Mike.
If it's 1-1 and he hits the home run and that wins the game 2-1, you would make a better case for your argument. Not a 10-run rule.
What do you mean, not a 10-run rule?
What a 10-run rule? What are you kidding me?
You play to win the game, Mike. He's getting them closer to winning the game.
Get back to the text board. What else are we saying?
We got another texter here. I'm all for the kids having fun and celebrating, especially a home run, but that wasn't a bat flip. That was a bat launch.
Well,
Sit the kid down.
There you go. So far, it's 3-0, Ray. 3-0 so far. And by the way, I got a text from a very prominent former college basketball star, current NBA coach, who texted me I will not identify him. He says, "You are 100% correct." These are people that celebrate dunks. And he told me I'm correct.
So a kid dunks in a game, celebrates it, gets ejected, has to be suspended for the next
He's
game.
not going to get ejected for celebrating a dunk. That's the point. This guy knows that there's celebratory elements that guys do. But he's saying at this level, at this 11-year-old level, it should be taught that you don't do something like that. And the lesson from this point on is if you do that, guess what? You're going to put your team and yourself in peril because you're going to get suspended for a game. And it's a hard lesson to learn. Let's go to the phones after this. I'm taking on all comers today on this. Don't be intimidated. Come with it. Come with it now. Mike Missanelli Show. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies fail to sweep. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com to get 60% off and free UPS shipping. Use promo code RADIO for an extra 5% off. Phillies handed Jesus Lazardo a 5-0 lead, and Lazardo ended the fifth inning with no hitter, and from there, it all fell apart. Lazardo surrendering 6 runs and the lead. The Phillies able to tie it up again in the 8th. The two sides go into extra innings, trading runs in the 10th, but the Phillies couldn't match the Red Sox 2 runs in the 11th, losing 9-8. Lazardo's struggles out of the stretch continued in the loss, and post-game, he addressed it.
Out of the windup clearly isn't the problem. It's when we get in the stretch. So, I mean, yeah, clearly it's not working. So, working tirelessly at seeing what we got to do to fix it. Back to the drawing board in terms of that.
As for the Phils, they're off today before weekend set up in New York against the Yankees that begins Friday night on Apple TV. It's day 2 of training camp practices down at the NovaCare Complex. Day 1 featured a majority Keely Ringo at second outside corner. Sidney Brown getting the first crack at safety spot opposite of Reed Blankenship, and rookie Jahad Campbell took the field for the first time. This update brought to you by Batteries Plus. Remember when you had a guy, someone who could fix anything? They still exist at Batteries Plus. Their expert knowledge on batteries will have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Missanelli Show. All right, just for an update on this story. The kid's father, first of all, it is pointed out in this story that the league posts videos of celebratory bat flipping on its social media accounts, which is not good. That maybe they encourage the kids to do that. But again, this is a coach's thing that they should overrule. The rule is horseplay. And the people that are against this say, well, it's an overly vague situation. Like, what is horseplay? That could be interpreted to be anything. And so you're sending mixed messages, and it's not clearly defined. So the kid's father filed an emergency temporary restraining order in Gloucester County Chancery Division Court in order to have the son's suspension overturned. Now, Chancery Court, from what I understand, would be matters of fairness, like matters of dispute, maybe divorce, custody, things like that. If a judge issues a temporary restraining order so this kid could play, then all's lost for me. Like, there's no way that a judge at a court should be involved in legislating a freaking kids league and coming in and overturning it so the kid can play in the next game. Would you agree with that, Ray, at least?
I mean, it's absurd the level this has gotten to. It's absurd the amount of coverage that this has gotten to. I mean, this kid right now is being kind of subjected as the face of a generation that people are sick of. And
We're sick of the generation of bat flipping?
Yes.
Well, I don't know that we are. I think we've gotten used to it at a major league level.
No. This isn't about the major league level. This is about people who are like, this generation's all about me. This generation has no sense of respect. Blah, blah, blah. That's what this kid's been that's what this kid right now is being portrayed as.
All the kids do is emulate what they see on social media and in the big leagues. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, that's the big leagues. That's what they do. We're not going to do that. Later on, if you're good enough, you get to the big leagues, you can flip the bat to your heart's content.
And that's a conversation that can be had.
Well,
it doesn't need to be a suspension for the kid.
The league is trying to have some semblance of rules that legislate sportsmanship. This is what this is all about. I don't know how could we could be against that. How can you be against that? It's purity. If they're trying to legislate some kind of sportsmanship, that's as pure as you can get for kids.
That moment is purity. That's a kid celebrating a big moment.
The moment is selfish. It's not purity. It's selfishness. It's look at me.
That's a kid excited about what he just did.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
How many kids hit a home run like, oh, crap,
oh my God, what's the last home run the kid's going to hit? It's going to be the moment of his life? Wait, he's got a lot of growing up to do, the kid.
He does. But he's living his 11-year-old moment right there. He's having fun as a child. Oh, my God. Living another moment by getting a big hit in another game. That could be your bigger moment.
This is going to be the ultimate moment of you as a kid?
Maybe not. Now it is because it's been talked about on these airwaves, been talked about nationally.
Well, it shouldn't be. That's my point. It shouldn't be the biggest moment of his life.
No, it shouldn't. I'm telling you it shouldn't be the biggest moment of his life. He's celebrating something in the moment. He's excited. There's a conversation that can be had from coaches, from parents.
This is perfect-ish fuel. All right, little Ray, you do a little bat flip? Ray, you hit a home run, little league, a little bat flip? The moment of your life, Ray?
I'm not telling you it's the moment of the kid's life. I'm telling you, I have a little compassion for an 11-year-old that made a mistake.
All right, it's 11 o'clock. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Compassion. Poor kids are going to miss a game. Oh, it's the end of the world.
If they lose, is their season over?
Yeah, it's the end of the world. There are not other kids on the team that can win a game without this kid. You listen to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, we'll start the 11 o'clock hour with Skip, who disagrees totally with me. Skip from North Philly. Go ahead, Skip. Hammer me.
Mike, as a guy that's actively coaching AAU and has produced pros, this is an archaic mindset. That league promotes exactly what that kid is doing. And I think it's more detrimental if the score is 7-7 and that kid smacks a home run and does the bat flip. And then you're saying, Mike, wait till we get the pros. Some of these kids don't make it to the pros.
Well, okay. Well, then guess what? You lose your privilege to bat flip for the rest of your life. And maybe you go to school and you get a degree or you do something more wondrous than that.
But, Mike, what about this? Now you're blaming the coach, right?
I'm blaming the coach.
Hold on. Let me finish. Now, at some point, Mike, if the kid makes a mistake, let him come back to the bench and let me scold him. You already threw him out. Now to suspend him for the next game, what are you getting?
Who's saying scold anybody? I'm not saying scold them.
I'm telling you as a coach.
You're telling me as an AAU coach in basketball where there's trash talking that's commonplace, where there's dunk celebrations. This is baseball. There's a little league code.
But it's being promoted, Mike. It's being promoted.
It's being promoted. Well, that's a mistake. If they're promoting it with video, that's a mistake.
So why was it?
That doesn't mean a father or a coach should tell his kid, "Hey, don't be doing stuff like that. Play the game hard, celebrate, but play the game. Don't throw the damn bat 20 feet in the air."
Mike, let the coach or the parent fix it after the action. The kid's in the moment. What is he supposed to do?
What's he supposed to do? He's supposed to throw the bat 20 feet in the air? When he hits a home run that makes it 8-0?
Social media.
Oh, social media, my ass. Social media, my ass. He's supposed to throw the bat 20 feet in the air? That's what he's supposed to do when he hits a home run to make it 8-0? Stop it. It's ridiculous. Reggie, calling in, our truck driver. Reggie, what's happening?
I am by Area 51. It is a real place. And I'm going to send y'all some
Area 51? Where? You talking New Mexico?
Yeah. No. Area 51 is about an hour.
Nevada?
Of Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Nevada, Area 51.
Las Vegas, yeah.
Yep, okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
All right, Mike. Then I'm going to be on your side because when you're teaching them safety in the game with a bat, they teach them how to put the bat down or lay it off to the side properly. So anyone, and sorry, Ray, but anyone that says, well, he was in the moment, an 11-year-old in the moment should be thinking about a selfish, excessive celebration. I don't like it when it's in the pro level. I don't like there's too much excessive.
Wow, that's old school. Listen, it has changed. It has changed to the point where it's commonplace. I understand that, and I don't mind it at the big league level at all. I mind it at the college level a little bit. I mind it certainly in the youth league level. It shouldn't happen there. I don't care what you see on social media or what you see in the big leagues. There's a decorum that should be taught.
And being youngsters, they don't have the strength yet, so the emphasis should be more on safety. So an 11-year-old with a bat tossed in the air, what if someone's kid runs out there wanting to celebrate and gets hit by the bat? So in the moment, you cause an injury. 11-year-old shouldn't be doing that. Again, I don't like it on a pro level. I don't like all that celebration after one.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that at all, Reggie, because it's so commonplace now, and it's baseball at a major league level does have to have an entertainment value, and that's been interpreted as an entertainment value. This isn't, and I don't care. Do what I see. You don't have to do what you see. You don't have to do it at that level at that age. Like I say, this is you're being while you're trying to cultivate your athletic career. I get it. There should be a semblance on playing the game the right way and sportsmanship. That's the only place you're going to learn it is at the younger stage, the younger levels. That's where you learn sportsmanship. All right, let's go with Malcolm in Camden. Malcolm, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Mike, how's it going?
What's up, Malcolm? How you doing?
Good. I think the kid was wrong, definitely. And he knows it because my son plays 12U travel baseball. We actually had a player ejected early in the season, so they know it. He obviously was excited, but I didn't realize that they were up 8-0. So
it made it 8-0. I think it was a solo home run that made it 8-0.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Mike. Would you give a little grace in this situation? So we won our championship Monday night. It went into extra innings. Bottom of the seventh, we had a man on second. My son steps up. He cracks a double hard. The game's over. If he would have thrown the bat up after he cracked that double, and he knew it, would you have given him a little bit of grace?
Probably. Because that's a game. It wins the game, and they're celebrating. They're probably piling on them the whole bit. So at that point, the celebration is
that's what happened.
yeah. So yeah, but probably that wouldn't have been. But again, like they
one last thing, Mike. Would this be a violation on my part?
What's that?
Would this be a violation? So when that happened, there was so much excitement. I ran and got the champagne bottles because the kids bugged me to make sure I had champagne bottles if we won. And I don't know what happened to that ball. Would it be a violation if I grabbed a random ball and marked it up? Because I usually do that with like his home run balls.
Yeah, it's a violation.
I totally don't know what happened to that
if
ball.
it's not the ball, it's the violation to Connor. Now the champagne might be a violation. You talking about alcoholic champagne? Damn, yo!
It was Martinelli's.
You get Martinelli's cider in the grocery store and do that.
That's what I did. It was Martinelli.
Oh, okay. I thought you said champagne. I'm going, hold on, what's that? All right, I got you, Malcolm.
Yes.
Thanks. He said champagne, didn't he?
He did it first.
That would be a violation. All right, 610-632-0975. Let's fake a deal. I ran past it and all the excitement. That's coming up after this. The Mike Missanelli Show continues. Another deal for us to fake and maybe accept. Back after this.
Andrew
11. Mike Missanelli Show, 11:11 to Make-A-Wish. That's what they say. They do an 11:11. Make-A-Wish, right?
I did.
You wish for Ish never to call again?
No, I wish for the kid to play in the next game.
Oh, you're going to wish for that. Well, Chancery Court has the matter now. It's up to the judge. I rule a terrible hardship has been done to this kid, and he needs to play that next game. Bang! Clear the courtroom.
Ridiculous. It's going to court.
That's the only recourse the father has. Temporary restraining order until they sort it out. All right. In any event, 610-632-0975 is how you get in. It is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We've been doing it every day this week because we desperately want to make a deal to help the Phillies get to the World Series. And this is called Let's Fake a Deal.
It might be a bullpen pitcher. It could be an outfielder. Or what if it's both? Let's find out on Let's Fake a Deal. Here's your host, the 17th Assistant General Manager of the Phillies, Mike Missanelli.
How's it going, troops? Yeah, it's me again. I'm in the back row, and I got some things to say. Today's deal, let's fake a deal. Again, it's a fake deal. We want to know, would you do this deal? Why or why not? Let's go to Ray Dunn for the deal. Ray, what is the deal?
All right. The deal in this one, the Phillies acquire right-hander Griffin Jackson, outfielder Harrison Bader from the Twins, and in exchange goes, once again, we're sick of naming him in these deals because he ends up in every single deal this deadline that we do. It's Mick Abel. Also in that deal, Arun Escobar, so your 5th and 6th prospects, and a bit of a wild card on this one. It had been reported by The Athletic before that the Phillies, in seeking upgrades, could part with one of their outfielders. So in this deal, Brandon Marsh heads to Minnesota.
Ooh. Griffin Jackson, Harrison Bader for Mick Abel, Arun Escobar, and Brandon Marsh. I hate this deal.
Really?
Yeah. Now, Griffin Jackson, a hard-throwing right. He's got a lot of strikeouts this year, but his whip is 1.227, and his ERA is 4.09. So I don't know that his numbers are that good, and I hate Harrison Bader. He stinks. Harrison Bader does nothing for me. I hate this deal, Ray.
Really?
Yes. And I'm chirping from the back. Don't do this deal, Dave. Don't do the deal. Griffin Jackson, Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader does nothing for me. Griffin Jackson, I like the fact that he's got high velocity. But I don't know. I'm not doing this deal for Mick Abel, Arun Escobar, and Brandon Marsh.
This is your option B deal when it comes to the Twins. We've talked about Buxton. We've talked about Duran before. I think I do this deal.
What do you see in Harrison Bader?
What do I see in Griffin Jackson? It's the real question.
Oh, so you like Griffin Jackson to that extent?
Yeah, to that extent. Absolutely.
Really? He hasn't pitched that well this year.
He has great stuff. This is the type of guy that you get in here.
What's his contract situation?
You got him for a couple of years. I think you're under team control till like 2027.
What do you do with Harrison Bader?
Play him in the outfield.
You're going to start him?
A right-handed bat.
He's the right-handed bat you're going to put in the outfield? It's going to help you?
Not my first choice for a right-handed bat, but he can field his position, which is a struggle for some of these outfielders. And a 765 OPS is not something to write home about, except in this outfield it kind of is.
He's a mediocre player.
Yeah.
He's no better than what they have.
Ooh. Ben Kepler?
Well, his average is a little better, but he's failed at so many places.
I mean, he's not my long-term solution.
Now, total journeyman.
Not my long-term solution.
All right.
But this also opens the door for you to bring Crawford up, too.
Okay, so you're going to play Crawford as an everyday center fielder. You're going to play Harrison Bader as your right-handed platoon guy? You going to platoon with your boy Kepi, or are you going to release Kepi?
I mean, hey, man.
0 for 5 last night, by the way.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you.
Has he ever thought of changing his stance? He's got a power stance that doesn't work. His stance is the same. Usually when you struggle, you change a little something up. Your hand position, your stance, your legs, whatever you do, you change it up. He hits the same way every single at-bat. They change him. Can't they fix him?
They could. I don't think it's going to happen now because I think he's going to be with a different team in August.
Kevin Long's got to wear. Hey! How about we try this? We try to tweak your stance a little bit here. You seem to be late on some balls. Let's tweak your stance. I don't know. He's got the same stance every single time.
Oh, we've got some news.
What? Oh, we got some breaking news?
Post deadline. I don't know. Should I hit the breaking news for something that's not necessarily Philly sports? I got it. You know what?
Now, breaking sports news from 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This is not Justin Fields
Justin Fields,
news.
we already say got carted off the field today for the Jets.
So, word out of Baltimore. The Orioles have placed Felix Bautista on the 15-day injured list with right shoulder discomfort.
What's that mean? Does that mean he's got shoulder discomfort, or they're keeping him out because they want to trade him?
I think that means I don't think you put a guy on the injured list that you want to trade.
Okay. All right, so that's out. Forget about that. You can't trade for a guy with a bad wing.
Oh, man.
That reduces it. I'm telling you, the best that they're going to do is David Robertson, and you're going to be happy about that, Ray.
It's not. I'm not going to be happy.
You're
That's
going to be happy about it.
Mike,
David Robertson, 40 years old. That's better than nothing.
I said all week that was a move I liked, but if it was the only thing they did, I would be disappointed.
Yeah. You're so high on this guy.
I've said for 8 hours on Monday and Tuesday that if it was the only thing they did, I'd be disappointed.
They're going to pitch a live batting practice now. They're going to gear him up. Come on. Waste my time with a 40-year-old guy. It's ridiculous. Can't do better than this.
Seth Johnson looked great last night.
He didn't. He did not look great. They trotted out all of them last night.
They did.
They all gave it up. Every one of them. All right, let's just, before we go into the break, Jason Stark was on Wednesday. And so this is, he said something that's startling. So we'll take out Harrison Bader, and we'll just go to Jax, all right? We'll just acquire Jax, because this is what Jason Stark said the Phillies are prioritizing. Jason Stark 8. It's coming. He's coming soon. This is Jason Stark saying that the Phillies are prioritizing the bullpen over a bat.
If you start going through the last 3 Octobers and why they have not won the World Series, I know offense has been a culprit, but I think it's a bullpen thing. I want you to think about Jose Alvarado giving up the homer to Yordan Alvarez, last game of the World Series in 2022. They're winning that game. Think about Craig Kimbrell in 2023. Not for too long, but think about that. They win that series in 5 if they have a better option than him. Think about the 9th inning of Game 1 against the Mets last year. Wheeler is, historically great for 8 innings. If they win that game and then they win the next day, they're up 2-0 in a best of 5. Everything is different. And so I mentioned this. Other teams, when they talk about them, say that team can win the World Series because their rotation is better than anybody's. But they have to fix the bullpen. I've heard that term multiple times. I think Dave is using it internally.
Well, according to Ray, it's fixed. They got David Robertson. 610-632.
Not what I said.
0975 is how you climb into the show. We're going to be talking to Eagles, and Vic Fangio has some interesting things to say. Short, sweet, to the point, but interesting things to say. We'll get to that after this. The Mike Missanelli Show continues on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies fail to sweep. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies handed Jesus Lazardo a 5-0 lead, and Lazardo entered the 5th inning with a no-hitter, and from there it all fell apart. He surrendered 6 runs and the lead. The Phillies tied up in the 8th on a JT Realmuto home run. The two sides ended up going to extras, but they traded runs in the 10th. But the Phillies couldn't match the Red Sox 2 runs in the 11th, ended up falling in the game 9-8. Lazardo spoke postgame of his struggles out of the stretch recently.
Out of the windup clearly isn't the problem. It's when we get in the stretch. So, clearly it's not working. So, working tirelessly at seeing what we got to do to fix it. Back to the drawing board in terms of that.
Phillies off today before they go for a weekend set up in New York against the Yankees that begins Friday night on Apple TV. It's day 2 of training camp practices down at the NovaCare Complex. Day 1 featured a majority of Keely Ringo at the second outside corner spot. Sidney Brown getting the first crack at the safety spot opposite of Reed Blankenship. Rookie Jahad Campbell also got on the field, and Vic Fangio said he looked fine out there for where he is right now in his development. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE sedan. Hurry it now through July 31st. Learn more at mvusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
.5 The Fanatic. The Little League Code of Conduct. outlines expected behavior for players, emphasizing respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and fair play. It typically includes guidelines on respecting teammates, opponents, coaches, and officials, as well as following the rules of the game. Players are also encouraged to be team players. All right, let's go to Scott, Northeast Philly. Scott, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Scott.
Mike.
How are you?
You don't. All right, buddy. How are you?
Good.
You don't chase the kids off your front lawn, do you?
No.
I mean, have a heart, Mike. I mean, come on.
Have a heart? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's the little league rule. It's the league's rule. What do you mean? Me have a heart?
Yeah, but when a professional pitcher who's an adult drills a guy with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, he gets a warning. Why couldn't you just?
He doesn't get a warning. He doesn't get a warning. He only gets. No, he doesn't. He only gets a warning if it's determined that it's punitive action against somebody. You hit a guy with a pitch. He doesn't get a warning.
Yeah, but that's all. Judgmental at that point.
Judgmental. If a guy gets hit with a pitch, he doesn't get a warning unless there's a circumstance. What is your point with that?
Yeah, but my point is, Mike, listen, the kid hit a home run, okay? Why after he crossed home plate, the umpire couldn't call the manager out with the kid and say, look, don't do it again?
Well, he could have done it that way. They decided to huddle and say, listen, the rules of this league say horseplay is thrown out of the game, and you get suspended for the next game. It's what the league determines.
Why is that considered horseplay?
I don't know. Ask the league. I mean, what do I know? All I know is that a manager or a coach has a responsibility to tell a kid that's not good behavior for our level. That's all.
Okay, well, he told them after the bat.
All right, well, guess what? It's too late then. Whether it's the coach's fault or whether it's the kid's fault, it doesn't matter to me. There's a rule in the league. What do you want from me? Okay. I'm not the president of the league. I'm just commenting on a kid's behavior. That's not good sportsmanship for an 11-year-old kid. And I don't care what he sees on social media.
Okay, well, I guess we agree to disagree. And then another thing off topic, Mike.
No, hold on a second, Scott. Are you a little league coach ever? Were you a little league coach?
I actually
coached basketball. Okay, so if you were a little league coach and a kid bat flipped 20 feet in the air, what would you do? Hello? Did he hang up on me? He hung up on me. He couldn't answer the question. What would he do? Would you celebrate with the kid? Or would you put a lesson down and say, don't do that? Well, in that league, they say don't do that. So what do you want from me? All right, let's go to Daniel in L.A. Daniel, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Daniel.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
What's going on, buddy?
Not much. Man, last night, that was a disgrace. Like, Thompson, I got to say.
Okay, what did he do that you perceived as wrong?
Well, Lazardo, we already know what he is. You know, he melts down when he has runners on the bases. So it's up to the manager to manage and have someone ready, warming up to save him from himself.
He did have somebody. He did have somebody warming up.
He's not gonna take himself out, you know.
He did have somebody warming up. He chose to trust his starting pitcher over the guy he had warming up. So let's go through this, okay? When would you have taken Lazardo out of the game? There are 2 outs, and he walks a guy, and now the bases are loaded. Are you taking him out then? Because the guy you have warming up is Romano.
I probably would have taken him out after he walked the first runner.
Okay, so he walks the first runner in, and you're going to bring Romano in with the bases loaded.
Yes, because at that point, this guy doesn't have it anymore. So.
Okay, does Romano have it? I'm trying to say, if you're the manager, at that point, do you trust Jordan Romano to come in with the bases loaded, or do you trust your starting pitcher?
it's really, I trust more than Romano might have a fly out or something.
Okay, so you're going to trust Romano in that situation. That's legitimate if you think. Now, if you're Thompson, you go, I don't have any trust in Romano. But he's the guy I have warming up in that spot because he's the only guy I could have warmed up. I'm not going to use him in the 7th, 8th. I got to save everybody else for the 7th, 8th. So Romano's my guy who's warming up. Do I have more trust in him to come in to get out of a bases loaded jam? Evidently, he didn't.
I probably would take Romano, and but this is not the first time. Remember in 2023 when everybody in the world saw that Kimbrel was shot.
Yeah.
And he still put him out there.
Yeah. Listen, you can go back in time and come up with some things that he messed up. But let's keep it to last night.
Yeah.
Last night,
I don't know.
Last night, in Thompson's mind, he's going, can I actually bring Jordan Romano in here with the bases loaded? That's what he's thinking.
I don't know, Mike.
All right, so you would have trusted Romano, and that's fair.
Yeah.
If you would have trusted Romano, that's fair. Thompson evidently didn't. Thompson trusted Lazardo more than Romano in that situation. Am I right?
Yeah, in that situation, I also think just admitting post-game that you should have got him warming up sooner. I think at that point he probably didn't feel like Romano was ready to get into that game.
No, but again, the other thing is, well, he did get 2 outs. I get 2 outs here. He walked this guy. I got to take a chance he's not going to walk the next guy. And he walks the next guy. Now, do I bring in Romano? Well, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe the inning got away from me. I don't know how, but we had 2 outs.
And if they do see that pop up in the sky, it's a whole different world.
True.
So
yeah, that's just one of those things.
That is one of those things. I'm just saying that when I look at that inning, yes, I do think there's a coin flip in my mind of what Thompson should have done there.
Yeah. Okay.
But really, you got to be able to pitch out of the stretch, man.
Yeah, you do. That's the bigger problem, and that comes to Caleb Cotham. I wouldn't even any bullpen session. I wouldn't even throw from the lineup at this point. He's got to figure it out how to pitch from the stretch. I might have some simulated batters to face him at this point, and have a guy on first base just to work on it.
I wouldn't have him throw out of the windup at all.
That's what I mean.
In practice
That's what
session.
I mean. In practice session, you have simulated hitters. You have a guy on first base. You try to work out this problem, whatever it is, and you gain your command. By the way, Scott said he didn't hang up. He lost the connection. No, that's fine.
He would never hang up.
That's all right. People can hang up on me. I hang up on them. You know?
It's true.
All right, let's go to Brandon from Chester. Brandon, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Brandon?
I hope you don't hang up on me.
I will never hang up on you, Brandon.
Mike, your producer, Mike. Hey, listen, that kid that got suspended for throwing the bat. Listen, I was a commissioner of a minor. As a little league for when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
And when you sign up, when your parents sign you up, you see the rules for the league.
Yeah.
And the kid agreed to them already. So the fact that he went to do a judge to get an injunction, I just tuned it. I hope that judge threw that out before he even got into the courtroom, didn't he?
I would think it would get thrown out. I think it's foolish to hear a case like that. But the crux of this whole situation is they don't define it as saying if you throw a bat, you're suspended. They say horseplay. Now, that's a vague interpretation.
But I think you're getting a little bit overboard. The league makes a decision. They sign the paper when you come into the league, and they have bylaws and they have code of conduct. And if they determine, it says right in there that you violated, you're suspended. You can't appeal that.
If you get thrown out of a game, you're suspended for the next game. They threw the kid out because he bat tossed. Now, did they throw the kid out? Did he not get the home run because they threw him out like immediately when they? Did they take a home run away from him? I don't think they did. He got the home run. He circled the bases. The umpires congregated, and they decided
you can't take it away then. Yeah, when you have an in pro ball. Hey, listen. Here's my point. Why did Bryce Harper? Why did the Phillies go out and get Bryce Harper from Washington? I know they signed him as a free agent, but what was the goal of getting him here? What was their end purpose of bringing Bryce Harper?
What was the goal? He was the best free agent on the market, and they wanted a guy to build around.
And they wanted to build around and win a World Series with him, right? That was their plan.
Yeah.
So they haven't done that. So we got a trade deadline coming up. The guy's got a gimpy arm. He's blocking first base from prospects like Ryan Howard was blocked from coming up when Tomei. We're repeating the same thing. Why can't we trade him, get some prospects? In 3 years, we have a solid chance of winning the World Series. We don't have a shot right now the way this team is constructed. And Bryce Harper is part of that reason. He's never won anything. He's disappeared in the playoffs for 2 years. I mean, I think we got to get rid of him, and he's a great trade prospect right now, Mike. Now, don't hang up on me. What do you think?
I think you're joking me.
No, I'm not joking. What do you mean I'm joking?
What prospects is he blocking? What prospects?
At first base.
Who? Who's he blocking?
We should go out and trade. Well, okay, we can't go out and trade for a couple. There's a couple first base guys out there in free agency that have power, that play first base, right? And Bryce Harper would have to move to right field. We were even talking about this. But he can't play right field because he has a gimpy arm. He's in a decline. Why don't we trade him now? In 3 years, we can't trade him.
Yeah, Brandon, come on. Do I even have to comment? Really? What are we talking about here? Foolishness? 610-632-0975. He no longer has a gimpy arm. It was rebuilt, right? His arm rebuilt? Tommy John said you're supposed to rebuild your arm.
Looks like he's doing a pretty good job hitting the baseball.
Yeah, he's on fire now. Why trade Bryce Harper? Get prospects. You're in the middle of trying to win something here. Come on now. Let's go. Let's get it together. Let's get it together, callers. 610-632-0975 is how you get in. On the other side, what did Vic Fangio say today on his press conference? We'll go through some quotes after this.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and coming up.
It's Mike Missanelli Show. Phillies lost last night. They're a half game behind the Mets as they go into a weekend series with the Yankees starting tomorrow. As we stand right now, the playoffs, the Brewers and Dodgers have the first two seeds. Then it would be number 3 Mets, number 4 Cubs, number 5 Phillies, number 6 Padres. Phillies in a first-round match with the Cubs where they have to go to Chicago and play the Cubs. I don't like that. If they win that series, they'd have to go to the Brewers. So, we're going to be updating this almost every day, and it's a long way to the finish. We get it. Yesterday, Jesus Lazardo melting down in the stretch, a major problem that the Phillies have to fix. And, of course, people want to blame Rob Thompson for not getting him out of here, including our good pal Bill. I guarantee you, Ray, today our good pal Bill will be all over Topper.
This is what I'm saying about Rob Thompson. This guy, he just doesn't really get it. He just doesn't give you enough energy of this team. He doesn't manage it the way that you want. There's not enough urgency in the way the guy comes to the ballpark every day. An example right there. He walks a couple of guys. You have to get him out of the game right there. You just have to. He needs to get out of the game at that point. You know he's thrown 8 consecutive balls.
You are listening to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, Ricky Mattel.
Sure, it's coming.
Guaranteed he rips Thompson today.
I trust Nick Nurse and Rick Tocchet more than I trust Rob Thompson. You see that 2022 flag out there, that pennant that they won? Nothing to do with Thompson. Rick Tocchet hasn't coached a game, but I know for sure I trust him more than I trust Rob Thompson.
Ray coming hard, straying on Bill.
I got a 4-day weekend coming up. I'll be gone.
Are you off tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yep.
Damn. This be nice.
Yeah. It'll be nice.
You head to the shore again?
I am. Yeah, my aunt's in town. I'm going to get to meet my baby cousin for the first time.
Oh, there
Very
you go.
excited.
All right, meanwhile, the Eagles are on the practice field for training camp. Vic Fangio was the speaker today. And let's face it, there are a lot of issues on the defensive side of the ball that we're worried about. If we're worried about the Eagles at all, it's because these young guys have to step into positions that they, for the first time. And under this tutelage of this veteran coach, I think it's going to be fine, but it is an issue. So Vic was asked a lot about that. First of all, he talked about consecutive tougher training camps. Now, the Eagles' training camp, to me, is really not that tough, but he was asked about consecutive tougher training camps that can derail a team. So this is what he had to say on that number. Vic Fangio, number 9, Ray.
You got no better evidence than our own league. You know, from 11 to 18, 2011 to 11-18, the Patriots were in 5 Super Bowls. The ones they weren't in, they lost the championship game. And then the last 6 years, the Chiefs have been in 5 Super Bowls. The one they weren't in, they lost the championship game. And they didn't alter their schedule and plan.
All right, well, but their plan may have been tougher training camps. The Eagles don't have tougher training camps, do they? As far as we're told that he has pretty light training camps to preserve him.
So the question was about whether or not they were going to take the approach differently this season, given the fact they went to the Super Bowl. And Fangio kind of scoffed at the notion that, hey, these good teams, they went to the Super Bowl 5 times in this stretch. And
they had tough training camps.
Yeah, and nothing changed with their offseason program. So he's basically saying, don't expect things to change on account that we had a shorter offseason than we had before.
All right. One of the other issues is Cooper DeJean and where they're going to play him. The big headline was that Cooper DeJean was in their base package playing safety. Now, they're not in their base package a lot, so I wouldn't read much into that. But Vic Fangio addressed that. It was pretty interesting what he had to say about Cooper DeJean. It's all about a matter of keeping him back on the field in any way possible. This is Vic Fangio 3.
I mean, the primary motive is, we'd like to have him be part of our base package. And I do believe he can play safety. It's new for him. So we're going to give him some work there. Then you'll see days in the base where will play some corner. So it's going to be an evolution, and a lot of it will depend upon how well we do at those positions with the other guys. So, we'll make the best decision for the team based upon, so it's not only how he's doing, it's going to be determined by how everybody's doing at safety and corner.
All right. They like him a lot. They got to keep him on the field no matter what. Whether he's in the nickel, whether he's playing corner, whether he's playing safety in a base.
And if you want to say who the 11 best guys to have on the field are, he is one of your 11 best defensively, so it makes sense.
And we know his skin will be pristine because of that new skincare line that he's endorsing called Belief.
Do you think it's just the morning, or is there a post-practice routine as well?
I think he has to stay moisturized all the time, right?
Sounds good.
All right, so Quinion Mitchell, I don't worry about him. I think the guy is solid as hell. And Vic says he's solid as well by practicing him on both sides. Here's what Vic Fangio had to say about the second-year cornerback Quinion Mitchell.
He'll be fine. You know, he's got a really good work ethic. He's got tremendous pride, and always wants to do well. He'll be fine.
All right. So there are times where he will also follow a wide receiver. They don't normally do that in the NFL, but Vic Fangio says that Vic Fangio 12 says that Quinyon is going to maybe follow a wide receiver.
Well, if we ever get to the point where we want to match him on his particular receiver, he's got to know how to play both sides. If we want to play him at left or versus right, so we'll figure that out on a weekly basis.
All right. Now, when we look at the defensive line, we're looking at a couple of spots. The one previously occupied by Milton Williams, and then the edge rushers. So Moro Ajamo has the beat on that position, and here's what the defensive coordinator said about Moro. Vic Fangio, 17.
Yeah, I think Mo did a good job last year in the reps he got. His reps will kick up this year. I think Milton's reps will be, divided up between him, Jordan playing more. See what Ty can do, see what BY can do, Gabe can do. So I think it will be more of a committee eating up those reps than just one guy. But back to your question, I'm very happy with Mo. Was happy with him last year, and I expect him to play good for us.
I like that. Mo. I like Mo as a nickname.
Mo.
I like it. Yeah, that's a natural nickname, Mo.
Much better than
Ojo.
Thompson calling.
You could call him Ojo.
Ojo?
Ojo.
I like Mo.
You like Mo?
Mo's good.
All right, we'll stick with Mo. By the way, Jalix Hunt. They got to have a really good year from Jalix Hunt and from my man Nolan Smith, who I think is going to have a big year. Here's what Vic Fangio said about Hunt.
Jalix, to me, the last third of the season into the playoffs, played a lot for us and played good. And we have high expectations for him. Anything beyond that right now to say would be reckless.
Oh, it would be reckless. Anything you say beyond that would be reckless? Meaning what?
Meaning yesterday, one of the offensive, I think it was Lane, was just effusive in his praise of Jalix.
Oh, so he's saying, hold it down, big boy. We can't let this kid get a big head.
Pretty much.
See what Fangio the way he works? Don't get big head. I don't want to compliment anybody over. He never goes overboard in his praise for anybody.
Only
notice
really
that?
Quinyon. Quinyon's the only one I feel like he steps out of his way to really hype up. Like, even back to last year, like, beginning of camp, he was like, oh, yeah, this Quinyon Mitchell kid just gets it.
Yeah, you're right about that. But everybody else, hey, you got to earn your stripes with me, baby.
It was good today. We did not get the inverse of that, where I think this was this press conference last year where he pretty much buried Bryce Harper of if we needed him to do what we need him to do today, he wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. The last thing I want to do here is because this kid's come from nowhere. Now he's getting a couple mentions, including by the defensive coordinator. Mac McWilliams is all of a sudden emerging, and here's what Vic Fangio had to say about Mac.
Mac's, again, a young player that we like. Think he can play the nickel position. Think he's got a chance at corner. And he's an interesting guy here these next 4 or 5 weeks to see how much he progresses and see if he finds a role with us.
Mac McWilliams as the nickel, Cooper DeJean as the full-time safety, and Keely Ringo as the corner. Could we see that? Right.
All depends how the guys out there show up. I don't think so.
Interesting. Mac McWilliams, a young player they like, can play nickel, has a shot to play cornerback. 610-632-0975 coming up in about 10 minutes. The news at noon. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies fail to sweep. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies handed Jesus Lazardo a 5-0 lead, and Lazardo entered the fifth inning with a no-hitter, and from there it all fell apart. Lazardo surrendered 6 runs and the lead. The Phillies tied it in the 8th on a JT Realmuto home run. The two sides went to extras, so they traded runs in the 10th, but the Phillies couldn't match the Red Sox 2 runs in the 11th, ended up losing the game 9-8. Lazardo's struggles continue to be out of the stretch in the game, and post-game, he addressed those struggles.
Out of the windup clearly isn't the problem. It's when we get in the stretch. So, I mean, yeah, clearly it's not working. So, working tirelessly at seeing what we got to do to fix it. Back to the drawing board in terms of that.
Phillies off today before weekend set up in New York against the Yankees. That begins Friday night on Apple TV. It's day 2 of training camp practices down at the NovaCare Complex. Day 1 featured a majority of Keely Rinko at the second outside corner spot, and Sidney Brown getting the first crack at the safety spot opposite of Reed Blankenship. Also saw rookie Shahad Campbell get out onto the field for the first time. This update is brought to you by your local Rheem Pro partners at thereamteam.com. When you want your home to be a dream, it has to be Rheem. Stay cool with a high-efficiency AC system from Rheem, RHEEM. Find your Rheem Pro partner at thereamteam.com. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
11:55. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Coming up, the news at noon. Talking about the Phillies last night and in the future. The deals are still pending. We got Eagles training camp all fired up. We got a Little League situation where a kid threw a bat 20 feet in the air, got thrown out of the game, got suspended for the next game. A lot of conversation on that today. Let's go back to the phones, though. We got Hal in Naples checking in. Hal, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Hal?
Hey, Mikey Miss, what's going on, bro?
Good, man. How you doing?
Hey, just heard about the bat toss. Didn't see it. Just heard about it from what you've been talking about. Listen, Mike, old school or not, and I understand you saying about the big leaguers doing it, the entertainment value. You got a good point about that, but this is Little League, Mike, okay? And second of all, the coach, no, he should have endeared his kids when they won, when he hit the home run, okay? Sat them down, said the next one does anything like this, they're out of the game. He should have imposed it.
Well, it's a league rule. It's a league rule. I mean, like the umpires are supposed to follow the edicts of the league. So they go, okay, there's this rule here. It's under the guise of horseplay. It's embarrassing that the kid did that to the other team.
They consider horseplay?
Well, they huddled up and they discussed it, the umpires, and they said, you know what, it rises to that level.
Okay, and I think it's childish for the coach to try and go to court over this.
It's not the coach; it's the kid's.
What is this guy crazy?
It's the kid's father that's doing that.
Yeah, I don't care who it is. The kid's father, he should be telling him what to do and how to present himself in a game, in a Little League game.
Yeah, well, I would think that there'll be parental guidance there, and the kid would say,
you know what my father would have done if I did that in Little League? He would have come out of the concession stand or wherever he was and
pulled you off the field.
Believe me.
Would have pulled you off the field. Yeah, I know.
Pulled me out.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So everybody could see.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm just saying, that pisses me off.
Yeah, I got you, Hal.
You know, it's the lip cards running this country. That's the problem.
Oh,
if he gets a court.
Yeah, come on, man. And now you went idiot, Bill. And I should ban you for the rest of the life. Is this true? Hulk Hogan has passed away.
TMZ reporting that
TMZ reporting that Hulk Hogan has died. Do we have any more information on that? Like how he died?
Working on it at the moment. Suffering cardiac arrest at his home.
Oh, cardiac arrest.
Is first thing I'm seeing here.
You know, all those years of bulking up and doing what you needed to do to bulk up. And eventually we'll catch up with you. But Hulk Hogan, a legend, has passed away. Wow. It's a stunner for a lot of people. Now, by the end, he was the villain, right? In Hulk, wasn't he the villain? He turned villain by the end? You don't know?
I'm not the one to go to with this. I never got into wrestling.
Yeah, I think that Hulk turned villain at the end. After years of being, he went heel after years of being, the popular choice.
I mean, I think he's probably the most famous wrestler.
Is. He probably is.
Ever live?
I would think he is. Who would be in that category? Who would be the Mount Rushmore of WWE or WWF?
See, if I put together the Mount Rushmore, I'm going to be crushed here.
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant was one that came to mind.
Hulkster.
Cena's brand recognizability?
Cena, probably. Yeah, Cena would be there. Who else? One other.
I missed the heyday of it.
Most of them blend in the same level of stardom.
Right.
The Nature Boy.
We got
Ric Flair.
Oh, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair be in it?
I guess in there. Stone Cold.
Stone Cold would be a candidate. I don't know. Would Ric Flair probably higher than Stone Cold?
I mean, he's got the woo.
Yeah, the woo that'll live forever.
Yeah. Probably Ric Flair.
All right, it's 12 noon. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. You're listening to it on WP, NWP, and HD1. Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. It's noontime. Enjoy your lunch because it is time for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, the news at noon. Oh, we start with Dame Dollar and his return to Portland and how, he's probably glad to get back home. And here's how he's dealing with it.
Yes, he was asked about getting home, but he was also asked about the home in which he was living while he was out in Milwaukee. And he was, I guess, given the privilege of renting out Drew Holiday's place. That privilege did not include good Wi-Fi. Dame with his one complaint from living inside Drew Holiday's home.
Because when I lived in Milwaukee, I rented his house for 2 years. So I actually had been renting his house for the last 2 years. So we talked a lot. Like, I was complaining to him about the Wi-Fi. Like, it's a clip online of, like, I shake his hand. We played them in Boston, and we had an interaction. And people was like, well, and we was literally talking about his Wi-Fi at his house. So
that's pretty cool. Let me ask you a question. You rent another player's house. Do you get a deal? Or do you don't get a deal because you make so much money?
Yeah, I would think you're probably counting a little bit of his pockets. Like, yeah, Dame,
you would rise the level because he makes that kind of money. You would rise the rent.
I don't think you're giving him a deal.
You don't think he would give him a deal?
I don't think so.
A fellow player, the brethren. I would think there's got to be a deal.
I mean, you got traded for him. I don't know if your ego takes that.
Really?
Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you a deal.
I don't know. I think there's a kinship there, man.
Yeah, but like from Drew's spot, it's like, yeah, I wanted a finals. They still sent me out for you. I don't want you to succeed.
Listen,
for you.
It's probably a big house, right?
Yeah.
What would you think the monthly rent would be?
Oh.
10 grand?
Sure. Yeah.
Easy?
Easily.
10 grand, easy a month. 120,000 rental a year.
Even feels low for where these guys live.
Really? Huh.
It's real estate well above my means.
Interesting to me how much you charge for rent. I'm doing that right now.
You charging 10 grand?
No, I'm not charging 10 grand, but I didn't know how much to charge, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a good starting point. I know what I pay, but I don't know what I would charge other people to pay. And I also feel like I have a steal, so I don't really know how much that would be.
All right. I would think that Drew would have given Dame a break.
Maybe.
As part of the brethren.
Well, maybe it was cheap because the Wi-Fi doesn't work. So, you know what?
That seems like a Milwaukee problem rather than a Drew Holiday house problem. All right, let's go.
Right.
The next.
George Niang.
George Niang. Bang, bang. George Niang, the minivan.
He goes to his hometown Celtics. Everyone's so excited to see him back home, right?
You know, I'm a Boston kid. I then get traded for Kristaps Porzingis, which you know how tough Boston fans are. So if they don't give a if I'm from Boston or not, they're like, you just took our unicorn and replaced it with a minivan. They're like, get the out of here. You know what I'm saying? I see right? You're like they superstars. Yeah, so you treat y'all the same way. I'm like public enemy number one. Unicorn for a minivan? Yeah. They're like, what is this?
I wonder in Boston they'll introduce George Niang to a weight. They do that. Hey, George, it was the new invention. It's called a weight machine. You know, a lot of guys go on it. They get a little muscle tone. Maybe you had some muscle tone, you'd be a better player. I don't know. I'm just a suggestion from the 17th general manager of the 76ers. All right, what's next?
Go stand in the corner, knock down those threes for us, George.
Bang, bang, George Niang.
Last one's a little bit longer here, and it's Chase Utley went on Part of My Take. One of their producers is a Mets fan. So naturally, the question came up about the infamous slide that took out Ruben Tejada. Here is the exchange, and Utley explaining himself once more.
Why'd you do it? Do you have any regret about it? And have you ever apologized to Ruben Tejada?
Your first question was, why did I do it?
Why'd you do it?
Why did I do what?
It was such a blind side. And as a veteran, you knew you were just going in to f him up.
That's absolutely incorrect.
Keep it civil.
Keeping it civil.
Yeah. Listen, I get it. I understand your frustration as a Mets fan, and I get it. But there was zero intention to f anybody up in that play. As I mentioned before, like I grew up watching 80s, 90s baseball, hard-nosed slides, and at that point, I don't know how many years I had in the big leagues, but 10, 12, 13 years at that point, and I've always gone in hard. And that was no different. Obviously, the outcome was different than other slides that I've had. I didn't anticipate actually hitting him nearly as hard as I did. I was actually anticipating him jumping up in the air because the way it all kind of unfolded, and as you can imagine, it's happening pretty quick. As he took the feed, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to hit the bag, get up off his feet in the air, and try to throw it. So me, I'm trying to slide a little bit with my body higher so I can clip a leg and get his throw off. But instead, he spun, which I was definitely not anticipating. And yeah, looking back on it, I didn't feel good about it. I actually felt terrible about it. I had no intention of hurting him whatsoever. And I attempted to apologize to him. He wanted no part of it, which again, I understand. So yeah, if I could go back in time and knowing the outcome that happened, of course I would have done it differently, because I would have realized he's not going to jump, he's going to spin, and I could have disrupted his throw differently.
It's a nice way of saying I'm not a dirty player, but Chase Utley really was a dirty player. Now, he did it competitively, so I'm not going to blame him for it. He said he grew up watching the 80s, 90s baseball, and they did that all the time. You take out a guy at second base, you take him out. But when you say you had no intention, well, your intention was to mess him up. Your intention is not to hurt him, but your intention was to mess him up, to take him out. So, I mean, this is a guy who used to put his leg in front of the base to block second base so a guy wouldn't get there. He did everything he could to win. He was taught that's the way you play.
Right. No, I mean, that's like listening to him explain it again there. I feel like it's been a decade now since it happened. It's been reviewed a million times at this point. He was absolutely trying to screw up that throw to first. I don't think he was trying to screw up his leg.
No, but he was trying to hit him. He's definitely trying to hit him.
Yeah.
You're trying to hit the guy when you're taking out a guy on a slide second base. It doesn't happen nearly as much these days. It used to happen all the time back
because
then.
of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that play was kind of the push for a change for that.
This happened to me last year. I'm still playing in an age league group, right?
In your league?
Yeah. So
someone's doing a takeout slide?
I took a guy out.
You're doing the takeout slide.
I took a guy out. I was lining up a guy. This shortstop takes the ball up the middle, and he's going to run to the bag instead of flipping it to a second baseman. And I go, this guy's going to try to do a double play by himself. I didn't like it. I'm running towards second base, and I lined him up exactly where he was headed. And I ripped it. And he gets up. He goes, "What are you? That's BS, man. That's BS. We don't play that way in this league." I go, dude. I'm just trying to take. It's the takeout slide. That's all it is. Was I wrong?
Yeah, probably.
What do you mean? How was I wrong? I'm taking the guy out. He's going to do a double play unassisted. I go, no. You're not on my watch. You're not doing that. So I took him out and I prevented his throw to first base.
I mean, I guess if we're operating under the rules that anything happen in the bigs can happen in any league, then yeah, I guess you could do that.
I went wide of the base, but I had my left leg hooked the base. So my right leg and body were way out where he was headed.
Was he okay?
He was okay. He just got a little I got tossed a little. That's all.
All right. I guess he was all right.
I didn't hurt him. I didn't hurt him. He wasn't expecting anything to happen. Like I was supposed to come in meek as a lamb. I'm going, that's not the way I play. I've been an infielder my whole life. I've been taken out 1,000 times. Guys coming at me. So I'm going to come at that guy. He didn't like it. And then the league president, who was the second baseman, calls me aside and says, we don't do that in this league. What do you mean? You don't play? It's a play. It's a legitimate play.
Was there any repercussion to you?
They said I could have got suspended for doing it. They didn't suspend me. I could have got a 1-game suspension for taking out the guy.
Well, good thing you didn't.
All right, is that it for today?
That's it. That's all three.
That's the news at noon for today. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues after this.
Thursday, July 24th.
Missanelli Show. A lot of wrestling fans sad at the news that Hulk Hogan died, and we were just trying to figure out where he ranks. He's definitely a top 4 of all time. It'd be a Mount Rushmore. So my Mount Rushmore, we forgot one major guy, man. We forgot The Rock.
That's a big one.
Got to go Hulk, Cena, The Rock, and for me, Andre the Giant. But I'm looking at a few lists here. I don't have Andre the Giant ranked in the top 10. Why wouldn't that be? I mean, he was like, he was unbeatable, Andre.
I can't really speak to anyone's skill. I can only speak to brand recognition. Andre the Giant was one that, it's like a name that would come to mind first.
He's got to be on the Mount Rushmore. Hulk, Andre, Cena, The Rock. But, the guys I liked, were in that golden era where you had a little bit more shtick, like Macho Man, Rowdy Piper, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the Ravishing Rick Rude, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Those guys, those type of guys. Sergeant Slaughter.
Sounds like a great era of wrestling.
The Iron Sheik. They had the shticks going.
I'm sure there's a part of our audience right now that's, that was the time. That was the best.
Oh, yeah. I love that era. You were never a wrestling guy?
No. Like one of my best friends growing up got into it, and I played the game on the Wii. That was about the most I had for you. That was the most I could do for you in wrestling. Just never really appealed to me.
Ravishing Rick Rude had such a great shtick. He'd steal everybody's wives.
Great shtick. Make him very popular at parties.
Rick Rude. Had the long hair and a whole bit. All right, 610-632-0975. So let's get back to this Phillies thing of last night. And because you're going to hear Rob Thompson get blamed at 2 o'clock. So I want to know where you would put the blame. Now, I put the blame late in the game. I would never, ever, 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 ever pinch run for a home run hitter. Never. You never know when I'm going to get another at-bat. He could circle around. The game could be tied for a while. He comes up. He can end it with one swing. I would not pinch run for Kyle Schwarber like he did with Weston Wilson last night. I don't know the need for it. So the other question about that is, did he get the steal sign or did he go on his own, where most guys are trusted to go on their own these days? If Rob Thompson gave him the steal sign, then that's a violation, probably. There's no reason to have Weston Wilson try to steal in that particular situation and get thrown out by 4 feet. But in the 6th inning, a lot of people are saying, you keep Lazardo in there. And I'm going, you got to play this out in your head as a manager. There are 2 outs. He walks the guy to load the bases. Well, you're not going to take him out there, right? You're going to give him a chance to get out of it. He got the 2 outs. He walked the bases loaded. He walks Riff Schneider. Run comes in. Do you take him out there, or do you go, that's just an aberration. That's 1 run. I got to keep him in there. My guy who's warming up is Jordan Romano. Can I bring Jordan Romano in this game with the bases loaded? Duran's the next hitter. He's left-handed. So I go, Lazardo's left-handed. Do I take him out before Duran and bring Romano in, or righty to face a lefty? Probably not. So he walks Duran. At that point, are you taking him out, Ray? 2 runs have been walked in.
That's probably where I'm taking him out.
Okay, so Remy Gonzalez comes up. Romano's facing Remy Gonzalez with the bases loaded. In your world.
Yeah.
Okay. Remy Gonzalez hit a ball that I didn't think was going out, be honest. When he first hit it, I thought it was a pop fly.
Yeah,
that was going to be caught at the wall.
I have a defeatist mindset. As soon as he hit that, I was like, crap.
Well, as soon as he hit it, the Boston dugout went crazy. They knew it. But I thought that ball was in the air a long time and it was going to be snagged. So they lose a game yesterday. They should have won. They're 1/2 game behind the Mets as they go into a weekend series with the Yankees, who are reeling, by the way. Brett Boone got tossed again last night. He's a maniac.
He's nuts.
He really is. Let's go to our text board. What do we have?
We got a text here. Eric from Virginia. My blame goes to JT and Bryce for watching that foul ball hit the ground.
Well, they didn't see it. They lost it. How are you going to blame them? JT was 20 feet from where it landed. Lazardo was looking elsewhere also. Bryce Harper coming in from first base, you can't expect that he's going to catch that ball behind the plate.
I mean, there's expectation for them to catch that.
Well, yeah, there is. But when you lose it, you can't do anything about it. Like, it was in a precarious spot with the sky, apparently.
I just mean that if there was a ball hit like that in play, in fair territory, and like Marsh and Rojas were, left and center, and they let the ball drop between them because they didn't see him, we would have blame on them too.
No, there's no question. And normally I would blame JT for not having a beat on that ball. But then I saw Lazardo's face, and he wasn't looking anywhere near where the ball landed either. So at that point, the pitcher didn't see it. The catcher didn't see it. What are you going to do?
Oh, I know. It's just unfortunate for him. Like, you finally got something that could get you out of there. You're drowning at that point. You're just trying to tread water and get out of that inning.
Yep.
You just were not able to do so.
A salami puts the Boston Red Sox in the lead. The Phillies come back and tie it, but then the bullpen lets them down late. The bomb by Narvaez. He's a good-looking player, that kid. I like him.
As long as he keeps his glove out of the way.
Yeah, well, he had a rough couple of days. His interview was interesting, though, afterwards. He said he knew Willie. He called him Willie. He knew Willie liked to run. So he was prepared for that.
Where did this Willie thing come from, Weston Wilson?
Willie?
Willie.
What do you mean? Why they call him Willie?
Thompson called him Willie, too.
Yeah.
When did this come about?
No, I think nobody else called him Weston. He didn't call him by his last name. He called him Weston.
Okay. I was going to say.
He said, I know Weston likes to run.
Thompson called him Willie, and I was like, that was the first time I heard him called Willie.
Wilson is a Willie nickname. Glenn Wilson used to be called Willie when he was here.
But, I mean, for Weston specifically. He's been
What are you going to call him? Like Dub-Dub? Like Bill calls him?
No, I'm good.
No, you don't call him Dub-Dub. Willie. It's Wilson is Willie.
I thought Wes. I usually don't go last name nickname.
Wes is not good enough.
You don't really shorten the last name of someone.
Yes,
I guess you do. Man,
in hockey, they do it all the time.
Fair enough.
Wilson's Willie.
Yeah.
Wes.
Wes much better.
No.
Wes clears Willie.
Willie's cooler than Wes.
Wes clears Willie.
That's for sure. Clubber in Jersey. Clubber, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up?
How you doing, Mike?
What's
Long
up,
time
Clubber?
no see. How are you?
How you doing, man?
Hey, Phillies really blew it last night. I don't know what went on. Lazardo getting credited. Wrighty's getting credited for doing filthy stuff. Maybe you don't start smelling your stuff when the base is loaded.
Well, listen, he couldn't pitch from the stretch. He didn't have his command from the stretch, and that's problematic because the pitcher's going to be in the stretch a lot during the course of a game.
He's a young guy.
He's not that young where he can't pitch out of the stretch. He's been in the league for 7 years now, I think.
All right,
you know what I'm saying? There's no way that a veteran pitcher like him.
You make the decisions. We are not that deep with pitching. We're not as deep as the Houston Astros, who pitched a no-hitter having an 0-2 advantage. An 0-2 advantage pitched a no-hitter to win 4 straight. That kind of deep pitching that we've never seen before.
Well, they've got deep
Crazy
starting pitching,
like
Clubber. Clubber, nobody. Who's got the Phillies starting pitching? Nobody. The statistics prove it out. Their starters do better than any staff in baseball.
Then why are you doing this instead of doing that when you could be helping?
Well, what do you mean? I don't understand what you just said.
I'm playing for the blame. I'm putting the blame. I'm pointing the finger, passing the buck on you.
On me?
Come on, Missanelli.
I don't know. What's he talking about?
I have no idea. What is going on?
Come on, Clubber Lang. What are you doing out there? 610-632.
What is going on these phone lines?
0975 is how you get it. Come on, people. Come with some heat. It's the Mike Missanelli Show back after this.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies fail to sweep. I'm Ray done with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies handed Jesus Lazardo a 5-0 lead, and Lazardo entered the 5th inning with a no-hitter. From there, it all fell apart. Lazardo surrendered 6 runs and the lead. The Phillies tied in the 8th on a JT Realmuto home run. The two sides went to extras, where they traded runs in the 10th, but the Phillies couldn't match the Red Sox 2 runs in the 11th, losing 9-8. Lazardo's struggles out of the stretch continued in the loss, and post-game, he addressed it.
Out of the windup clearly isn't the problem. It's when we get in the stretch. So, I mean, yeah, clearly it's not working. So, working tirelessly at seeing what we got to do to fix it. Back to the drawing board in terms of that.
Phillies off today before a weekend set up in New York against the Yankees. It begins Friday night on Apple TV. It's day 2 of training camp practices down at the NovaCare Complex. Day one featured a majority of Keely Ringo at the second outside corner spot. City Brown get the first crack at the safety spot opposite of Reed Blankenship, and rookie Jahad Campbell got on the field for the first time for the Birds. This update is brought to you by Dairy Queen. Flying to DQ today for a cosmic collision of flavors in their new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard treat for a limited time. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters. DQ, happy tastes good. I'm Ray Dunn, and you're home for the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
$12:28, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. Here's how you get in. 610-632-0975. You know, our good buddy Jason Stark had a really interesting story today in The Athletic about future Hall of Famers who are playing right now, their chances to get to the Hall of Fame. one of the guys he addresses is Bryce Harper. We'll get to him in a second. But I want to go over a list of names where he breaks it down into categories. So in the category of in right now, there's no question will be going to the Hall of Fame. Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Mike Trout, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Aaron Judge. Do you agree with that, Ray?
Yeah, it feels right.
That feels right? All of them? Go?
Yeah, it's interesting, like the counting numbers for Judge, but I feel like this stretch, by the time we get to reflect on it, I think the Hall of Fame voters will be like,
Really?
There's no
and
way.
Mookie Betts, Hall of Fame?
Well, Betts been like the heartbeat of 2 different World Series champions. He's got MVP in there. He's been around sneaky long for what you think of him. I mean, I think, almost a decade at this point?
All right. Now he goes, guys in the red zone, meaning it won't take them very much longer to score a touchdown, and the touchdown being the Hall of Fame. Bryce Harper, Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado, Paul Goldschmidt, Shohei Ohtani, and Jose Altuve. Let's go over these. Bryce Harper, what does he have to do to get to the Hall of Fame?
Stay healthy.
That's it?
I think so.
What number? Doesn't he have to get to 500 home runs?
And I think if he stays healthy, he's going to end up there. He hit 350 last night.
Yeah?
I mean, I
got 150 more home runs he has to hit.
Right, and he's under contract for 6 more years.
Okay.
And that's still a part, like the middle part of his 30s.
All right, 6 years of 30 home runs gives him 180 home runs.
Right, which
that would get him there.
530 plus whatever he ends up with this season.
6 of 20 home runs. Well, he'd probably do more than that, right?
Well, that's the thing. It's if he stays healthy. Because this season, just by sheer volume, you'd think, he's probably going to get somewhere near 30, but he misses all that time. And that's the kind of the tough part of this. I think his peak is pretty much going to be enough, regardless if he hits that beautiful number of 500.
He would have to average 25 home runs for the next 6 years to get 150.
Which is doable if he's healthy.
Okay.
I think his peak is enough to get him in.
Nolan Arenado. Yes
Yeah.
or no?
I'm interested to hear his justification on him being in the red zone, because to me, Arenado probably defines the last, I guess, the post-Beltre third base era of Major League Baseball, which has been, I think he's been the preeminent third baseman for quite a bit now.
Paul Goldschmidt. No way. Does that feel like a Hall of Fame guy? Paul Goldschmidt?
So I'm going back here now that I saw Goldschmidt on here, and just looking at the count numbers: 370 homers, 1,200 runs batted in, 886 career OPS. He does have the MVP back in 2022.
No way he should be a Hall of Famer. No way.
7-time All-Star.
Nah, I'm sorry.
So he probably needs.
He's first of all, he's on dead batteries.
Well, that's the thing. If he's in the red zone, he really needs to.
Yeah, he's not getting there.
He kind of needs to throw, a touchdown at this point. I don't think he's sitting at the 2-yard line. I think he's at like the 18.
Yeah, I agree.
He needs to put himself over there.
Machado.
Yeah, I think Machado will get there.
Shohei and Altuve get there. Altuve should be in now, actually. With
I'm surprised. Yeah, he's not already.
All right, across the 50. So this is at least you're in the other team's territory. Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor. 2 pretty good names.
Yeah, I would think that they're not just across the 50. If we keep going with this metaphor, they're on like the 25. I really like Lindor. I'll be honest.
I think Lindor's going to get closer than Ramirez is. Moving the chains, Juan Soto, Chris Sale, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Soto, to me, is the only one that has a chance in that group.
You don't think Vladdy does?
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't because I don't think he's going to compile enough numbers to get there.
I mean, he's 6 years in, 173 homers.
Yeah.
I guess 6 plus because it was a short. He didn't have much. I guess 7 years at this point. 173, so about 30 home runs a season. If he plays another dozen years, puts up about 360 more. I mean, I think if he plays at this pace for his career, he probably ends up close to that magic number 500. I would imagine he wins an MVP at some point.
Starting pitchers. Jacob deGrom. Nah. Zach Wheeler. Nah. Paul Skeens. I don't believe his arm is going to last.
I think all three of those guys.
You think all three go in the Hall of Fame?
Skeens, it's tough. If his arm doesn't last, his arm doesn't last. But I would be hard-pressed to see that. They have to define the new era of pitching.
Zach Wheeler will get to the Hall of Fame?
They have to define the new era of pitching. I mean, I think that's what this is going to be. If they start to throw away some of these, they have to have arbitrary number of wins, I think that this will be the group that kind of redefines what it means to be a Major League.
Interesting.
Or a Hall of Fame player at the Major League
level.
All right,
let's go with the closers. There's a lot of good closers right now that you can consider. Kenley Jansen. Is he the all-time active leader in saves right now? Because they said Aroldis Chapman was second.
Yeah, I would
imagine the broadcast
Jansen,
last night.
Yeah.
All right, so Kenley Jansen, Aroldis Chapman, Josh Hader. I don't think Hader gets there. And Emmanuel Clase, he doesn't get there either. Kenley Jansen and Aroldis Chapman have a chance. You agree?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in how long Clase lasts. He's had 3 straight 40-save seasons. If he puts up those numbers for another few years, I mean, you're talking about a guy who probably gets close to 300.
Catcher's corner. Salvatore Perez probably gets there.
Mm-hmm.
JT Realmuto.
I don't think.
He doesn't get to the Hall of Fame.
I don't think. I guess the case for him is the offensive output from the catcher position, the fact that he played a pretty key part. Like, they have to. I think he has to get a ring before this even becomes a conversation.
I don't see it. I really don't. All right, just one thing where he talks about Bryce Harper getting in this red zone club. Harper. Is Bryce Harper heading for the Hall of Fame? Of course, Jason writes, but this is the 3rd straight season he has gotten stuck in this red zone concourse because of an odd collection of injuries and assorted setbacks. So his counting numbers spinner has been moving in slow motion, and that's never helpful. And that's what I'm saying. He's got to get, in my opinion, he's got to get the 500 home runs. And I don't think, that may be iffy to get there.
Does he, though?
I think he does.
Like,
I think you got to get you get people's attention when you get the 500 home runs. You're a surefire Hall of Famer.
Right, but we're kind of in an era where I feel like that's like the counting numbers are slowly being replaced for Hall of Fame voters. Like, if you go through like the first 10 years of his career, the guy's numbers, like the peak of Bryce Harper, is just so absurd.
Yeah, I get it.
Where he brings up multiple MVPs.
I hate to be bedazzled by a couple of years, though. I value like the numbers over a long career.
Well, that's what I'm saying, over a decade.
Yeah, but his home run total has to get up there. He's got 350 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
That's he's got to compile a lot more home runs. He's got to get close to 500. All right, 610-632-0975. We do have a text on the Phillies' biggest need. We have a couple calls on hold. We'll get to all that. It's the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a Birds Insider Update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Back on the field, I'm Ray Dunn with this Birds Insider Update. The Birds hit the field yesterday for the first time in training camp. And today they had their second practice. Earlier today, we heard from defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, who had a number of things on his mind, talking about a couple of position battles, whether it be that second cornerback spot opposite of Quinyon Mitchell, which yesterday Keely Ringo got a lot of the first team reps there, or the safety position, where it was Sidney Brown that got the first crack to play opposite of one Reed Blankenship in the secondary. Of course, the defensive front, a big part of the conversation. Moro Jomo, Jalix Hunt, drawing praise from Vic Fangio, but one of the first questions asked of the defensive coordinator today was about Jordan Davis and the shape that he finds himself in. Davis himself saying that he's down 26 pounds. Here's Fangio on the shape of Jordan Davis.
He had lost a lot of that, towards, like I said, last 6, 7, 8 games last year. He was down then, too. Not one down as much as he is now, but close. So it's nothing new.
So slim Jordan Davis figuring to be a big part of what the Birds are doing at the center of that defensive front. Birds back on the practice field tomorrow for a walkthrough, and then we'll hear from Patullo over the weekend about the offensive side of things. I'm Ray Dunn with this Birds Insider Update on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Or by telephone call. A little later in the show, a dramatic reading of the essay authored by none other than TJ McConnell on why he was so emotional at the end of his series where they lost and had no chance to win, really, because they weren't the better team. But it was very emotional for him, and Ray, we're gonna read it. We're gonna read it dramatically, a dramatic reading.
I look forward to it.
Thank you. In the meantime, let's go back to the phones. We got Greg in Bethlehem checking in about the notorious bat flip from the 11-year-old kid who got suspended. Greg.
Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, Greg. How have you been?
Good, good. I'm used to saying good morning, but I didn't get around to it soon enough. On the bat flip thing, I'm assuming that that's not the first time that he's thrown a bat. And I'd be curious to find out how they dealt with the ones previously in this season, if indeed it has happened before.
Well, maybe let's just presume that it didn't happen. This is the first time he did it.
Well, then I'd say, if you're looking up videos about horseplay, I don't think a bat flip is going to show up on any of those videos.
No, it's very vaguely worded, but by the same token, it's out of line, and anything out of line can be determined as horseplay.
Well,
like what else would
true.
horseplay be? It's just the wrong word that they used in the bylaws, frankly.
Well, if when I heard horseplay, I'm thinking, wrestling or dodgeball with a hard ball or that kind of stuff. But, I think I blame in large part the league and particularly the coaches, because I don't think the kid in his millisecond of ecstasy when he lost his mind, I just don't think that had been hammered into him in the past.
Yeah, you're probably right. And that's the fault of the coaches. And it's the fault of his parents as well.
Right.
But somewhere along the line, you got to set a standard for this, right? If the kid throws a bat 20 feet in the air and the umpires convene and go, yeah, that was out of line, we got to throw him out of the game. And the throwing him out of the game, the result of it is he has to miss the next game because that's what the rule says. Then he's got to be the poster child for the whole rule.
Well, what I'd like to see right now, because they already made their point, is to reinstitute him for the next game. They already made their point. Nobody else is going to do it. And, that gives him the benefit of the doubt that...
So it's like one dog bite. A dog's allowed to bite you once, but not the second time.
Well, it taught the guy not to stick his hand in to get bit
but it was no ramification. What did they teach him? They reinstated him. So, that shows you're going to be soft. Suppose the next guy who does it, they do the same thing. They feel sorry for the kid, and they reinstitute him. You got to draw a line somewhere.
I don't think there's a plague of these things happening.
But I think there is a plague because in social media, that's all you see. So to put a stop to it, somebody's got to pay the price.
Well, I think they could make an example without
How? How are they making an example? They're going to let the kid play.
Well, that's what I'm hoping they do.
Well, that wouldn't be an example. What kind of an example would that if they allow the kid to play?
You don't think the kid's been racking his brain overnight thinking, how stupid was I?
Okay, well, but guess what? You didn't pay any price for it. Don't you have to pay a price?
That's enough of a price.
What's enough of a price?
The kid worrying about it all night that he's leaving his team down.
Oh, all right. I don't know. I don't think it's a price if you reinstate the kid and everything goes happily ever after and he gets away with it.
Well, in the long term, you're right, but you made your point. That's the thing.
Well, you and I see that differently. I don't think they made the point unless the kid has to sit out. So, that's where I look at it. That's the point being made. The point being made is not that you reinstate him because then he says, well, no worse for wear. Punishment, Ray. Got to have it.
They did. They ejected
Otherwise, the world is chaos and anarchy. Got to have rules.
They ejected him.
So that was enough. You agree with Greg? That was enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Hal, Lumberton. Hal, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
I agree with you, Mike, all the way. He's got to be suspended for a game, man. You got to set it straight. He's got to learn from this, and the league's got to set an example. But that kind of nonsense shouldn't occur at that level. I don't care who he is. If he's the next coming, you don't flip that back. So I agree that, you got
to. Sometimes the kid has to learn a hard lesson, right? The worst thing that happened to this kid is he had to sit out a game. Now maybe his team wins and he joins them for the next game.
Yeah, I agree. I can sit out the game and then see what happens. And then the other thing is, you don't take out Schwarber. Well, what's Topper thinking? Your guy's going to come out and bang out a home run. This late in the game, you can't be worried about who's closing or whatever. You got to let the guy. You can't take the bat out of the guy's hand. I'm totally, upset with that.
I agree. I would never, ever, ever take a home run hitter out of a game. I think it's foolish.
You don't remove that.
Yeah, it's not like Schwarber's a turtle. I mean, he can move around the bases.
He's got a few stolen bases.
Exactly.
He can run.
Yeah, he runs like Babe Ruth. I get it, but like, he can pick it up.
No, he can move. He can move. He's and Lazardo, you're right. He's got to pitch out of the stretch. I mean, he's 27 years old. He's pitched out. I mean, this is the longest stretch that in a couple of years that he's pitched. But he got to be able to pitch out of the stretch.
It's kind of ridiculous. He's worried about tipping his pitchers to the point where he changes his glove, and that's going to mess up his command. Like I don't understand it. How does it mess up your command the way you hold your glove?
Yeah. I don't understand it. So he said he admitted it, but then again, it's unacceptable. Well, if it's unacceptable, learn from it, pitch out of this stretch, whatever you got to do, and get it right.
That's what you got to do.
And the pop up with JT, I agree. That's you can't discount that. I mean,
it's a happenstance, man. It's a happenstance.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about that. They lost the game. They probably should not have lost. It's the first time they lost the games when they're up 5-0 in forever. So it's an aberration. So hopefully they play the struggling Yankees and they do some damage here against our Yanks. All right, 610-632-0975 is how you get in. On the other side, TJ McConnell. Why did he cry? Oh, I think when you listen to TJ or you read his words, you'll have great empathy, like Ray Dunn. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies fail to sweep. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies handed Jesus Lazardo a 5-0 lead, and Lazardo entered the fifth inning with a no-hitter. From there, it all fell apart. Lazardo surrendered 6 runs and the lead. The Phillies tied in the 8th on a JT Realmuto home run. The two sides went to extras where they traded runs in the 10th, but the Phillies couldn't match the Red Sox 2 runs in the 11th, losing 9-8. Lazardo's struggles out of the stretch continued in the loss in postgame. He addressed just that.
Out of the windup clearly isn't the problem. It's when we get in the stretch. So, I mean, yeah, clearly it's not working. So, working tirelessly at seeing what we got to do to fix it. Back to the drawing board in terms of that.
Phillies off today before a weekend set up in New York against the Yankees that begins Friday night on Apple TV. It's day 2 of training camp practices down at the NovaCare Complex. Day 1 featured a majority of Keely Ringo at the second outside corner spot. Sidney Brown getting first team opportunities opposite of Reed Blankenship at that safety spot. Rookie Jahad Campbell also got into the field for the first time. This update's brought to you by Dairy Queen. Flying DQ today for a cosmic collision of flavors in their new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat for a limited time. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters. DQ, happy tastes good. I'm Ray Dunn, the home, the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
TV. Good sun. Is it stifling hot out there again today, right? You hearing from people? Is it hot out there?
Today it was nice when I woke up and got out there.
It was nice, but now I got a heat. Just got a heat thing.
I haven't seen the light of day in hours.
Extreme heat warning near your location. These conditions are expected by 10 a.m. So
they were just talking about the heat of conversation going on.
Are they
here.
talking about the heat of conversation?
That's
since
right.
It started at 10 a.m. I like
intensity of the Mike Missanelli show today.
TJ McConnell sat down with a laptop, pounded out a story about that, like all journalists do. TJ, on the Players Tribune, wrote an essay about his feelings and how he broke down after the Indiana Pacers lost the NBA title to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And here's what he writes. I'm going to start with something that's a little funny, just to lighten the mood. That's not my mom. After Game 7, I guess this clip went viral. You've probably seen it. I'm crying my eyes out as I'm walking off the court, and one of the TV camera guys is following me through the tunnel. And you can see this woman kind of notice the camera guy, immediately block him from me, and then motion to him like, sir, do not take another step. Leave TJ alone. I think it must have been the way she seemed so protective of me. But people assumed it was my mom. So then, of course, the clip got shared all over social media with millions of views, and these captions like, TJ McConnell's mom does not play. Yeah, LOL, not my mom. Who is it, though? It's Karen Atkinson, our VP of Player Relations with the players. I've developed a great relationship with Karen over the 6 seasons I've been here, and I think she saw that I was in tears, saw how raw my emotions were, so she gave me this big hug and tried talking me through it. And then when the TV camera started following me, she just reacted out of support. All jokes aside, I actually think it says a lot that people figured it was my mom in the video. Because in a way, it's what our mentality was as a team the whole season. I know it's a cliche, but I swear to God, we did this as a family. It was the players. It was the coaches. It was the people like Karen throughout the organization. It was legends from past Pacers teams. It was everyone with the fever. It was our amazing fans, so many different people. What's ironic is I really did need some mom-type support heading through the tunnel after Game 7. Your season ends the way ours did. You're pretty much feeling like a little kid in that moment. It's total helplessness, you know? You go from walking into the floor pre-game and you're believing in your heart that you're about to win a championship, and then suddenly you're walking off and it's over? Just over? The end? Time to go home? Plus, our guy is on crutches, and we all know what it is. I could tell you how that moment was bittersweet or how there were mixed emotions, but I'd be lying. It was just effing devastating, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. Pure emotion from TJ. Were you impressed?
I mean, he just articulated pretty much the exact thing that I felt in the moments following watching him go off the floor, where he was like, yeah, I cried because it was just devastating to me.
And I go, what was devastating? You lost without your best player. You weren't going to win that game anyway. Don't you have a feeling of resolution? Devastating? It's like you lost. You weren't the better team.
He's 33. When's he going to get there?
Listen, a lot of guys play their whole career without getting a championship.
And he was one win away.
Yeah, but that win wasn't going to happen. You usually get, at the end of the day, you go, we weren't good enough to win that game.
Not in the moment.
It's nobody else in the moment was doing that, were they?
He was the player they followed because he became the story.
Oh. All right. Well, I'll leave TJ alone. I will say, however, that my other supposed hatred for this actor, Tom Hanks, I don't hate him. In fact, I watched what I thought was his best performance 2 nights ago. Saving Private Ryan was on. And I watched the whole thing from top to bottom.
Really?
And I could tell you that was, without question, his best performance as an actor.
Nothing else on if you're watching Tom Hanks?
I just decided I wanted to watch the way it was done. It was well done, that movie. It was a Spielberg deal, wasn't it? Where he orchestrated the battlefields and stuff like that. It was pretty good. It was pretty well done, that movie.
It was.
A Spielberg movie?
It was a Spielberg movie.
Yeah, Spielberg movie.
Academy Award for Best Directing.
Yeah, so that proves that I don't dislike TJ McConnell nor Tom Hanks. I just read the TJ piece, and I watched 2 nights ago the Tom Hanks piece. So can we put that to rest?
The Tom Hanks thing, I'll give you the pass on.
You're not TJ?
You're reading the TJ thing with a little bit of a sarcastic tone.
I'm not. It's not sarcastic. It's dramatic. It was a dramatic reading. It's like me doing Shakespeare.
Okay.
1 o'clock. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. The 12 o'clock hour was brought to us by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates, and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. All right, it is the 1 o'clock hours. Let's start the 1 o'clock hour with a phone call from Garrett from Medford on the bat flip. Garrett, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, bud?
Hang on 1 sec, Mike.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, so the only thing I'm concerned, like, I guess your take on it is he deserves to be penalized.
This is kind of in your neighborhood, right, Garrett? This was in Haddonfield?
That is around the neighborhood,
Okay.
and I got to be honest, I didn't even see it yet.
Okay.
So was it malicious?
No, he won. He hit a home run, and he threw the bat 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about with this is, like, they kind of, like, okay, so if the pitcher struck him out, right, and he goes, let's effing go and stuff like that, is that, you know what I mean? Is that in the rule book? I just think my take on it is, and I have young boys that play baseball in our town, and, like, I constantly see my boys watching clips on whether it be ESPN or YouTube and stuff like that, where a guy scores a soccer goal and they're sliding across with the teammates.
Yeah.
They like to watch. They like to watch. Schwarber hit home runs and stuff like that, and these guys do that, and it's unpleased. Like, remember, it used to be taunting in football if you did an end zone celebration. Well, they got away from it because it makes the sport fun. I don't think the kid, and again, I didn't see it, but as a 12-year-old child, if you're flipping the bat, it's because you're seeing this. It makes it cool. It makes it fun. I don't hate that they did it, but I think the rule's silly. I don't think a 12-year-old is going out there to try and show up a pitcher. And whether it be dangerous if he flips the bat and hits a kid or something like that, okay. But, sports in general is a highlight reel.
Yeah,
So
but hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I got you.
Just because people do it at a higher level and celebrations are appreciated now because it's fun, does not mean that a kid has to do it. A kid is supposed to learn sportsmanship, and then later on, he builds into that sportsmanship other parts of his personality. At age 11, in my opinion, his parents should have guarded against that, and his coach should not have his team play that way. It's the only time you're going to learn sportsmanship at that age to carry it through the rest of your life.
I understand what you're saying, Mike, and I do coach, and I try and preach discipline and respect for the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the child itself is thinking that he's doing bad sportsmanship in that role. I think he's
then he needs to be coached.
Out the team.
He needs to be coached better, and all this does is send a message. Don't do that stuff. And the coaches get a message from it, and the kids get a message from it, and the greater good is served. No.
Okay. No, I'm just kind of picking at it because I don't think that. I think a child looks at a baseball player that he looks up to and goes, man, I want to do that. So if you're talking about sportsmanship, yeah, I think sportsmanship is more or less not a bat flip. I think sportsmanship is shaking a kid's hand after the game and saying, dude, you are awesome today.
Yeah, but throwing a bat in the air isn't sportsmanship at all. It's just not, Garrett. I'm saying, listen, I'm sorry. It's not. The Little League Player Code of Conduct outlines expected behavior for players, emphasizing respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and fair play. Throwing a bat 20 feet in the air is not sportsmanship. It's not. It's just not. You know, flipping the bat, maybe you're walking, throwing it in the air 20 feet is not. And so as long as those codes of conduct are in Little League Baseball, because that's what it's all about, they wouldn't have a code of conduct if it wasn't important for kids to learn these kind of lessons. And well, they see it on social media. They see it. So what? So they see it. So you like just like any teacher would teach a lesson, then parents and coaches teach the same lesson. That's all I'm saying. Harsh punishment? They missed. They're going to suspend him for one game. He got thrown out of a game. The rule is if you get thrown out of the game for doing something that constitutes horseplay, then you get suspended for the next game. Those are the breaks. The kid's going to learn a valuable lesson. I don't know if his dad's going to learn a lesson because his dad's filed for a temporary restraining order so the kid could play in the game. I don't know if that's the right lesson either. Is that the right lesson, Ray?
The lesson should come from being ejected and the conversations that follow it. Not for being suspended the next game.
Should the parent go to court to prevent it?
I said that this is way over the top, but it's way over the top. The suspension got levied. So everything that's already past this is just adding on to this being over the top. Being suspended for the next game, to me, is an over-the-top reaction.
But that's what the rule says. So the rule says if you get thrown out of a game, which the kid did for doing that, then you get suspended for the next game. What are you then supposed to do? Go back on the rule?
Yes.
You can't go back on rules. You'll have anarchy and chaos.
I think it's very easy to go back on the rule.
You can't go back on certain rules because the rule then means nothing. It's not worth it what you printed it on.
The rule itself is a nothing rule. Horseplay.
Well, then you got a problem with the rule. Then you go to the team meetings and you try to get the rule. As long as the rule's in, you can't ignore it.
But it was only enforced in this certain... Like, we had the caller earlier that was like, they should know what they've signed up for. Do you read the terms and conditions of everything you got?
What are you talking about? A parent should. The kid's not going to read it. A parent should. A coach should.
And in the moment, he flipped his bat in celebration of doing something good.
And in the moment, it was wrong, and you got taught a lesson, son.
And you could get taught a lesson without being suspended for the next game.
You know what the lesson he's going to get taught now? It was all right what he did, and his parents are going to back him, and they're going to the point where they're going to take it to court. And that's a lesson for kids to learn. Whenever you have a dispute, take it to court. That's the lesson? That's a good lesson?
But the lesson is now being taught that way because he was suspended. Had he not been suspended, we avoid all of this, and the conversation happens between the coach, between the parents, and between that team of what to do and when to do.
I'm a get off the lawn guy. The majority of people have agreed with me today, by the way.
And that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Once for getting support. You know, teach these kids well. Teach them. Teach your children well. The father's hell will slowly go by. You know what that song is?
No.
610-632-0975. Back after this.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
If you're telling me
We got a manager who decides Weston Wilson should pinch run for Kyle Schwarber in the 10th inning. And we're still looking for a relief pitcher since we had to watch the Daniel Roberts and the Max Lazars and the who am I missing? Oh, Seth Johnson. We had to watch them in action. And they had to use Romano, the guy who was supposed to be the late inning guy who replaced Hoffman in the 6th inning.
Other than that,
to get 3 outs. Other than that, they're still a pretty good team. I don't want to sound an alarm here.
Just an annoying night of baseball. Really,
it really was.
Because you felt like you were going to hit coast mode.
Listen, they won a series, right?
They did.
Took 2-3. I tell you what, I like the young players Boston has.
They got a fun team.
They really do.
I'm going to enjoy watching them from afar. I don't want to see them up against my pitching staff.
Yeah, and they're in a fight. I don't know if they get there, but they have a future. That team.
Looks like they do.
Yeah,
looks like they built it.
That's the way I like to build a team. It's like the Oklahoma City Thunder type of principle. The Red Sox are building.
Unfortunately, we don't have the capability here to do that.
No. All right. 610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. We're talking about the bat flip controversy. We let you hear from Vic Fangio today. We'll go back to a couple of those quotes in a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, we got Damon in West Philly checking in. Damon, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Dame?
Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing,
What's going
man?
on, Dame Dollar? What's happening?
Oh, man, what a week, Mike. We lose my man, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Rest in peace, Malcolm. Ozzy Osbourne. And now Hulk Hogan. I wasn't a big fan of his politics, but I grew up watching him in wrestling matches down at the Spectrum. So,
yeah.
Man, what a week, man. What a week.
Comes in threes, Mike, bro. It comes in threes.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yep.
And unfortunately it does, but that's how it goes. So, but Mike, listen, I'm listening to you, right, Mike? This kid's 11 years old.
Yep.
I always think, I work with kids, I teach kids acting. I always think about myself at that age. Okay, what he did was wrong. We get that. But to suspend him for a game is egregious because what happened to suicides, Mike? Giving the kids suicides. those days are over.
Yeah, suicides. Well, listen, here's the problem. The problem is the bylaws for that league say if you get thrown out of a game, you get suspended for the next game. So, I mean, I don't think they had any leeway on this situation other than not throw him out of the game for throwing the bat high in the air. They could have ignored that, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the same. I just think about, he's like, the Phillies real quick. Why is everyone, the Kemps and the Ottos and those, Kepler, there was a Kepler and Otto Kemp. When did they start adapting the Castellanos swing at the first pitch? Mike, it drives me bananas. Because here's my philosophy, Mike, you play baseball. So when I'm watching baseball, and if a pitcher walks a guy, I'm like, for the next batter, just take a pitch because he walked the guy. Let's see a pitch.
Yeah.
Well,
in that particular situation, you're right that if a guy has trouble with the strike zone, you do want to take a pitch or work a count. But I normally don't have a problem with swinging at the first pitch. Now, Castellanos has made it ridiculous. So any pitcher who throws him near a strike with the first pitch is an idiot. Like he should face sliders that bend outside the plate every single time. Because but by the same token, it could be the best pitch you get because the pitches he puts in play with the first pitch, he's hitting like 460. So that's the first pitch. I always say, if you get a cookie, hit that first pitch. I don't care what the deal is. Now, if a guy's wild, that's different.
Yeah, it's just that with this team, man, it's frustrating. And like I said, if they could just find that bat, that extra bat, and that extra guy in the bullpen, we have something there. So it'll be interesting. Mike, my son and I went to the game Monday night, to the extra inning game on Monday.
Yeah.
With the catcher. So that was like
catcher's interference. Now, how did you feel? Now, let me ask you a question. Did you feel glad that the Phillies won that game that way?
Can I be honest? Mike, I was confused. When it first happened, I was like, I know he checked, supposed to check from at the bat. But I was like, what happened? Then they showed it, and the guy explained to me, so it's like, it's interference. We win the game.
Yeah, but see,
it felt a little cheap. It felt a little cheap, Mike.
It shouldn't happen. It should not happen that you win a game that way. Again, I'm on my soapbox. I think that rule stinks. First of all, it catches interference that you get awarded a base. Second of all, if the rule's in existence, you shouldn't win a game that way. That would be a caveat to the rule.
But it's the rule.
You can't win. It's like you can't run to first base on a pass ball if the base is occupied. Well, here you can't win a game if a guy's on third base or the bases are loaded on a catcher's interference. It would be a ball.
We got 54 years until the next circumstance this happens.
And it was funny that second time it happened where he got out in front of the plate to catch a guy trying to steal home.
That was hilarious. I was watching that after we had the day of conversation. Yeah. Like, God's got a sense of humor. Like, this is pretty good.
Narvaez said he didn't know the rule. That's why he came out and caught the ball. He didn't know the rule. It's like, he rush up, he sees the guys doing it. Now, if Marsh ran out of there, if Marsh stayed in there, would the catcher have done the same thing?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Marsh ran out. He had a clear path. He goes, I might as well catch this right before it gets to the plate.
Oh, poor Narvaez.
Right,
he got the home run last night.
Yeah, and he runs a little bit, too. He can run. That kid, man, talk about catchers on the come. They got one. 610-632-0975. Didn't the Mets have a Narvaez also?
You're thinking, I think, Francisco Alvarez? Who are you thinking?
No, I knew that Alvarez went to I thought they had a Narvaez somewhere along the line as a backup catcher. Who?
Omar Narvaez? Yeah, you got that.
It was a backup catcher. All right, Mike Missanelli Show. Take a quick break. We'll come back with your phone calls, your texts after this.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies fail to sweep. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies handed Jesus Lazardo a 5-0 lead. Lazardo entered the fifth inning with a no-hitter, and from there, it all fell apart. Lazardo surrendered 6 runs and the lead. The Phillies tied it in the 8th on a JT Realmuto home run. The two sides went to extras, where they traded runs in the 10th. Phillies couldn't match the Red Sox 2 runs in the 11th, losing 9-8. Lazardo struggles out of the stretch, continued in the loss in postgame. He addressed that.
Out of the windup clearly isn't the problem. It's when we get in the stretch. So, clearly it's not working. So, working tirelessly at seeing what we got to do to fix it. Back to the drawing board in terms of that.
Phillies off today before a weekend set up in New York against the Yankees that begins Friday night on Apple TV. It's day 2 of training camp practices down at the NovaCare Complex today. Day 1 featured a majority of Keely Ringo at the second outside corner spot. Sidney Brown getting the first crack at the safety spot opposite of Reed Blankenship. And rookie Jahad Campbell was out there on the field for the first time playing some off-ball linebacker. This update is brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Looking for a job in the logistics or supply chain industries? Connect with dozens of local businesses at your Express Employment Professionals location at ExpressPros.com. I'm Ray Dunn, in your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
today on the Mount Rushmore of WWE, WWF guys, along with The Rock, Andre the Giant, and Cena, most likely. Although Stone Cold's getting a lot of love.
Ricky Bo and the text line both with The Undertaker. As
The
someone that
Undertaker
misses out on.
is a top 10. I don't know if he cracks the 4, though. Undertaker, top 7, maybe.
He feels
Stone
like somewhere
Cold's top
from
7.
4 to 7
Undertaker,
range.
yeah, he's in that range. Yeah, The Undertaker was pretty invincible. All right, let's. I want to get a couple quotes out here because it's interesting to hear A.J. Brown talk about the year that he anticipates having. So this was yesterday. He says he's the best in the league. Here's how A.J. Brown put it.
Just continue just to be the best version of myself. You know, I truly feel like I'm the best in the league, and I want to put a stamp on it. You know, so I'm definitely motivated, but also I have to put the team first. So, and that's what I'll do. Honestly, I could go into deeper, but I think that's what I'm focused on. Being the best version of myself. And proving it each and every day that I am the best. What the critics say or whoever said that's for me personally. God placed that in my heart. When I came in the league, he told me that I could be the best in the league. And I think right now I'm closer than I ever been, and I want to put a stamp on it. And so that's for me. That's not for whoever else. I don't care what anyone else says. This is personal for me. And that's what I'm chasing every day.
I like it. I like the fact that he said that without overly bragging that he's the best in the league. It shows that he's determined. He thinks he's the best in the league, and he's determined to prove it. I like that.
Also dropped in there anything to help the team win, which I think is pretty important in light of the conversation about just how run heavy they've been over pretty much last season.
Let's get to Saquon Barkley. I want to make sure I fully understand this quote when he talked about being in hell every time he watches the clips from the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs did a really good job. Every time I go back and I watch that game or even see clips of it, I was in hell for sure. But the beauty of playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, we have a lot of great guys around us also. So whatever teams want to do, it's kind of pick your poison. I think they're going to – every week is going to be a new week, and they're going to defend us differently. But main thing is winning football games. So whatever we got to do that, we're going to try our best.
Okay. He's anticipating they're going to try to lock him down. Every defense is going to try to lock him down.
So it's interesting that he mentions, obviously, the way he felt about the Super Bowl. But if you're an opposing team that watched what happened to the Chiefs, even when they slowed him down, you could take bits and pieces of it. But the overall game plan there, do you feel like it succeeded?
Yes. Yeah. And see, Patullo has to coach that way.
As if the Chiefs succeeded.
No, not the Chiefs. The Eagles. The Eagles succeeded.
That's what I'm saying.
Even though the Chiefs kind of succeeded holding down Barkley, they didn't succeed overall.
Right. And, I think we can look back at that Super Bowl and say the offense was aided certainly by defensive plays that put them in, plus situations. But by and large, I don't think defenses can just say around the league, all right, Chiefs gave you the formula. Just slow down Barkley like that. We're good.
Yeah. No. They got too many weapons to be totally I would love to be the offensive coordinator and figure out a way to put my weapons, the pass catching weapons, in order when they stop Barkley. I would laugh. Okay, you're going to do that? We're going to do this, and you can't stop it. You don't have enough personnel. All right, let's get back to the phones. People love to talk about this bat flip. So let's go to Jimmy in Lehigh Valley checking in. What's up, Jimmy?
Not much, Mike. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
Like, just a couple of questions. If you were playing when you were a kid and your dad saw you do that, what would happen?
He wouldn't be happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen, it's a different era. I can't. I can't go back in time. We were taught differently.
Yeah, but what was wrong with what we were taught?
Well, nothing except the world evolves, and you have social media, and you have entertainment value, and you have pro players acting differently than they used to. So I've changed with the times. I totally acknowledge that fun is fun, and that's part of the game now, and I don't have a problem with it. I do, though, think that when you're age 11, you need to learn different lessons. And because that's your base, your foundation is those years you're being coached by responsible people.
And this is such a great learning experience, or opportunity, I should say, for the kid, because it was 8-0. I mean, it wasn't like a
that's the other thing.
Home run.
Yeah, that's the other thing about it.
It's just and it's been, and the way it is, and I don't know anything about Ray at all, but he just keeps on saying about the rules are the rules.
Oh, he's a younger generation guy, though. Right? That's the only thing Ray knows. The bat flip and the entertainment and the fun.
But he's saying look past the rules, and no. You know what they can do? They can change the rule for next year.
They could. They can go to the league meeting, and there'd be enough fanfare to say, okay, you're not going to have this rule, but the coaches are responsible for teaching the right things. We just won't punish the kid.
Yeah,
they can do that.
It's an opportunity. It really is. It's not like a negative. It's going to be.
Ray ignores rules. Ray makes right on. I mean, when it says no right turn on red, Ray will just plunge through it. He's just of that generation where they don't follow rules.
Yeah. Hey, one quick thing, Mike, about the Phillies.
Yes.
A couple years ago, World Series. Next year, the Championship Series. The next year, the Division Series.
Yeah.
And then this year, does he give you, and I'm saying Drombowski or whatever his name is, does he give you the confidence that he's actually going to do anything after signing Kepler?
Yeah, I do. I do have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
he's
why
done
is
it
that?
because he's done it before. He's made some really risky trades at the trading deadline for other teams. So I think he's going to do it. I think he knows that they don't have a chance unless he does that. He's smart enough to look at that.
All right, Mike. Appreciate your time.
You got it, buddy.
Nothing bad about Ray. Keep doing what you're doing.
Ray's is incorrigible, Jimmy. Ray, you make right turns on reds?
If it says, there's no sign, if it says no turn on red. I actually got mad at someone who honked at me when I had the blinker on to the right, somewhere that said no turn on red.
I got to be honest with you. I always make a right turn on red, no matter what it says.
Mike, there's rules. You got to follow them.
Well, the rules only apply when they apply. So the no turn on red rule is a safety rule. If I see that there's no one coming, that safety doesn't apply.
Well, that bat didn't hit anyone.
The bat hitting somebody is not the rule. Throwing the bat in the air is the rule.
Okay, so safety is now definitely out of this equation. So this whole thing here
about
is just
safety. There's two different elements here. The right turn on red is a safety public policy.
Got it.
Rule.
There's some people that were suggesting our YouTube chat that this rule was more about the safety of the players instead of the sportsmanship.
Did you hear me mention that all today, that bat hitting anybody?
Well, listen, I wanted to make sure for the people that were saying that was the argument they're going for, that upon the back and forth between the two of us, safety's out of the equation.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about safety. That bat is probably not going to hit anybody. It goes in the air, bounces, hits the dirt, bounces. I don't know. I'm not even looking at that. I'm looking at throwing it in the air like that. To me, is the violation according to the rule of horseplay. At least that's what they said. So that comes under the heading of horseplay. And if you do that, you get thrown out of the game. And if you get thrown out of the game, that means you get suspended for the next game. That's what the rule says.
But that leads me to the selective enforcement of rules. Because if Little League does not allow bat flips, or this falls under that said rule, then highlights they have on their own Twitter, their own website of players bat flipping that were not suspended means that this is a selective enforcement of said rule. Which means that if you want to take the rule of people being ejected and suspended for the next game, there would be selective enforcement then of that suspension.
They're not showing kids in the league doing bat flips. They're showing their social media. They're showing everybody else in the world.
No. Little League World Series has tweeted from the World Series, clips of kids bat flipping at the Little League World Series.
I'm talking about that particular league. You're talking about the Little League World Series?
I'm talking about at Little League on Twitter. Has shared clips prior to this instance of kids bat flipping.
They shouldn't do that. That would be a tweak I would put right away. In our next league meeting, we're not going to encourage kids to do that.
But that, to me, shows that the bat flipping in Little League is selectively enforced, which means that if you eject someone here, and the rule is if you get ejected, you're suspended, let's selectively enforce that suspension here and not do it.
But you're selectively enforcing it by taking it away.
Correct, because when guys bat flip in other Little Leagues or the Little League World Series before, they have not been suspended. They've not even been ejected.
Every league is different.
But if you're trying to set the uniform principle
You're
here,
setting a
rules are
uniform
rules.
principle. You're setting a league principle. This particular league doesn't want any horseplay.
Do they not? Because I thought you just said the league was sharing clips of people bat flipping.
I said the league's website was according to this story. I didn't see it. According to the story, that league has I don't know if it has bat flips, but it had. Let me get the story again here, so we're really clear on what this is.
And I want to be very clear because that caller, and Jimmy, I appreciate you listening. It's nothing against you. People hear this, they know my age, they know my voice. Oh, Ray is just part of this generation. If I had done this, I can guarantee you, I lived down the street from my Little League coach. I know for a fact he would have been in my ear about it. I know for sure I would have dreaded the car ride home because my parents would have been after me for doing it. It's not the fact of them doing it. It's the suspension afterwards. My parents, if I got ejected from that game, would have said, hey, great, you're done with this game. They could celebrate the win. You're hopping in the car. We're going home. That I can assure you that's the way it would have been handled. And if someday I do have kids, my kid bat flips, there will be a conversation about that in that moment of an 8-0 game. I'm more concerned about the suspension for the next game. That's where I come down on this. I think it's over the top for the kid to be suspended for the next game.
The poor kid is suspended for the next game.
Well, now the poor kid's had
Ray has
national outlets write about him. Now I do feel for the kid. Because people are making judgments about his character off of a split-second decision that he made.
Man, really bugged by the poor kid.
I am.
Suspended.
I've been bugged by it, yeah.
It says, let's see. They've shown the elder Rocco, that's the kid's father, insists the league sends kids mixed messages by posting videos of celebratory bat flipping on its social media accounts. So I don't know what kind of celebratory bat flipping that they're showing. It was vague on that. It might be pro. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just know Little League has tweeted bat flips before.
Okay. All right. 610-632-0975. You want to climb in? We'll go to our text board after this. We have Joe, we have Tom, we have Dave. They want to comment on this as well. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this.
Philadelphia.
People who want to talk about this whole thing. First of all, let's go to the text board to see if anybody is texting about this whole thing or anything we've talked about today, right?
Yeah, we got Jasper that's checking in the A.J. Brown conversation, saying A.J. is definitely way too low in wide receiver rankings.
Well, what's his ranking?
ESPN had him 5. I know Pro Football
Really?
Focus had him 1.
Who was Pro Football Focus had him 1?
Had him 1.
Who was ahead of him when he had him on 5, ESPN?
Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, C.D. Lamb, and 4 might have been Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Hill or C.D. Lamb ahead of him.
Yeah, I think 3
Other
is
two,
probably
maybe.
a
I mean,
solid
he has a chance to rise above those other first 3. All right, let's go back to the phones. We got Joe in North Philly checking in. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Joe?
What's up, Mike? What's up, Ray? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Since the last guy was Team Mike, right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and I've been Team Ray all day. I agree with everything he was saying. I'm from his generation, so that might be the reason why. But Mike, I have a simple question for you.
Yeah.
So you don't have any feelings really on this, right? You're just basically like, it's the rules. And
No,
that's that,
I
right?
have distinct feelings on it. I believe that age 11, you shouldn't be throwing a bat 20 feet in the air just because you see it done on social media. I believe that's a responsibility of the coaches and the parents.
Right. So, all right, but you don't feel like the opposite, like he's 11, 12 years old, like, and it's like the old expression, kids will be kids. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not mature enough to really realize they're just caught up in the moment, like Ray was saying.
No, I realize they're caught up in the moment, but the moment also is that made it 8-0. Is that a moment?
Mm-hmm.
Like if he wins the game with a home run that breaks a 1-1 tie, maybe I'll have a different feeling about it. When you hit a home run that makes it 8-0 and throw a bat in the air, that's embarrassing.
Right, but at the same time, it really shouldn't matter what the circumstances are or what the situation
Sure,
is.
it should. Absolutely should.
A bat flip is a bat flip. It doesn't matter.
Win like a champion. Don't win like an idiot. That's all I'm saying. Come on. It's 8-0. Makes it 8-0. You can throw a bat in the air. Stop it, kid. I'll tell you something else. I would have the hardest thrower on my team throw at the next little bastard who comes to the plate. I'll tell you that right now.
And I think
get the right fielder in there. He's got the best arm. Hit that next kid.
And I think that would be the correct punishment, honestly. If instead of suspending him for the next game, peg him on the next at bat.
All right, then we're on the same page. All right, Joe. That's it. Who's my hardest thrower? Little Tommy, step in here. I want to get that kid, the next batter. Ooh, his legs are chattering. Yes, this is what I want you to do. I want you to hit him right in the ass. Oh, God.
You said high schoolers, right? You're going to coach high schoolers, right?
No. Well,
not Little League.
No, like age 15.
Yeah.
In that area. Of course, I'm kidding.
No, I know.
But
I want to make that very clear for someone that was listening.
Love pitcher retribution. You know I love that.
I know you're a big fan of pitcher retribution.
I'm a big fan of it. Yep. Let's go to, let's see. We got Tom in Chester. Tom, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Tom?
Hey, guys.
What's up, Tommy?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you, bud. Go ahead.
All right. I'm with both of you guys on two things. Mike, you're 100% right. When I was coach, we had a rule. You can't throw the bat up in the air, down, whatever.
Uh-huh.
There was a kid on deck. The guy got out. He said, save me bat. Threw the bat down, got suspended. We lost him for the game leading into the championship game, just to get to the championship game. So he got suspended. So I was like, oh, man. So our lesson was, guys, listen, you can't do it no matter what the situation is because this could happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mike, I agree with you 90% of the time, but the catcher's interference is a rule. So you have to apply the same thing to the catcher's interference as we're saying about the Little League bat.
No, well, listen, I know it's a rule. I know it's a rule. I'm saying that the ramification of the rule is too harsh. You're still going to have catcher's interference. Right. I'm not eliminating catcher interference. I'm just saying it's ball 1 or ball 2 or ball 3, just like a balk is a ball.
Right. And I agree with you, but that's the rule, so we got to change that part of the rule. right?
Yeah, that's what I want. I want the rule to be, instead of awarding a base, it's just a ball.
That's right. And I agree with that.
Okay.
We got to change that rule. So, okay, I'm with you with that. So we got to change that rule. But just like Ray saying, oh, it doesn't matter, he shouldn't be. But yes, that's the rule. Now, this off season, when all our Little League coaches get together and all that, we can say, hey, listen, guys, this is what we're going to have to change. Boom, boom, boom. If he gets kicked out of the game, it's the end of the game. If he does, you know what I mean? That's what we got to do.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, that's what I've been preaching the whole time.
And we wouldn't be talking about this if it wasn't for the parents, correct? Because if you just got suspended and they took it to whatever, and he's
the father isn't happy about it, and he's kicking up a fuss. Yeah,
and I get it, I understand that, but there's ways to go about it. Now listen, my team, my message to that whole team would have been, guys, you see what happens? There's a rule here for this reason. Boom.
Well, it's certainly a teaching point from this point on, I would think. Unless they change the rule. Yeah, they're probably not the last of this. The league meetings will probably discuss this thing in great detail, right? What should we do about this? Should we make it more specific that you can't throw your bat, you can't flip your bat, because horseplay is kind of vague, and because it's kind of vague, this became controversial?
I mean, this shouldn't be that specific league. This should be Little League. This is a national story at this point.
Yes, it is.
So this should go up all the way to the top of the Little League, and they should be the ones that are making the decision on the rule.
I don't know if it's under the Little League umbrella. I think it might be. It's like a U11 league. I don't know if it's actual Little League. It says U11.
Wait, but have we not been applying the entire Little League?
Yeah, well, it's the same thing.
Pledge?
It's the same thing, really. But what I'm saying is that the Little League offices might not have any jurisdiction on this, but they follow the Little League codes.
Yeah, it says it's Little League, I think.
It does say it's Little League? I saw it read was U11.
Yeah, U11 tournament, Haddonfield Little League.
Yeah, so U11 isn't necessarily Little League because that goes up to 12.
Right. But they all fall under the Haddonfield Little League. I'm saying this should be Little League from the top, should have a rule about bat flipping that becomes uniform across so that we don't ever have another national story about a kid that's bat flipped and suspended.
Okay. All right, yeah, it is. New Jersey Little League State Tournament. But this is the 11-year-old division, so it's not like the whole...
It's not the tournament to get to Williamsport. It's their end goal is regionals, I guess.
Yes.
Or states, whatever.
All right, we got a lot of conversation on this today. Go back to the text board. I'm sure we got more text on it. I gotta be honest with you. I'm shocked that more people are in agreement with me on this. Because I thought, sure, this was, Mikey is an old fuddy-duddy. Go ahead. What else we have?
There's only one real answer to this, and that would have not been ejecting the young man from the game in the first place. That rule, which is part of the bylaws that every team and every coach and every family has a choice to be a part of, is in place to protect the integrity of the league and the safety of the players and specific people. The bat flip falls under the category of horseplay, which could include other more highly problematic incidents in terms of that rule should be enforced. Who really knows what else falls under that caveat of horseplay? Tripping athletes, running between bases, throwing balls at athletes, name calling from the dugout, etc.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess horseplay can be constituted if you throw the bat in the air, it bounces and hits somebody, it's horseplay. It's unsafe. I don't know.
I think the definition of sportsmanship needs to be revisited. At one time, spiking the football after a touchdown was a lack of sportsmanship. Now that's only true if it's at the feet of a defender. A bat flip is akin to spiking a football unless done while staring down a pitcher.
Yeah, but bat flips are commonplace now. Like I say, since Joey Bats made it fashionable, now everybody's doing it, and I don't have a problem with it. And nor, the old school would be the pitcher would take it in his own hands. That doesn't happen anymore either. So baseball has evolved to the point where it's a little more civilized and it's a little more fun because bat flips are fun to most people.
Kevin in Idaho with this bat flip ordeal is completely overblown. For context, I've coached over 5 years between Little League, travel ball, and even some high school. This is just how the game is these days, from pros all the way down to Little League. When they hit a double, they have a celebration. Same thing with a triple and a home run.
They do this, whatever this is. I'm not sure what this is. The other thing with this, I knew what was.
Yeah.
What is this?
No, they keep laughing at people that ask about it. So it's something.
It's got to be something obscene.
Probably. Yeah. No, it doesn't strike me as a group that's doing anything just for PG
Don't you
fun.
think a good reporter would find that out?
They keep asking.
Really?
And they keep chuckling at the reporters and not telling anyone. This has been something that's been asked in there.
All right. That's fun when they do that. Whatever. Or they go 2 for double. Or, that never used to happen ever.
Yeah.
But now it happens. And it's like, okay, get used to it. Perish.
Kevin's speaking of this, though, in terms of the youth, that this happens across youth sports.
Yeah, and it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. I don't care that they're influenced. There's always a way to say, yeah, I know what they do. You don't do that, okay? And if you get to be a major leaguer, you can do it. But right now, we're trying to teach you something different, so you don't do it. That's all I would say if I'm coaching. Let's go to Dave in Horsham. Dave, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Dave? Oh, I can't pop him up. Something's frozen. All right, here we go. There he is. Dave, what's happening?
How do, Michael? Can you hear me?
Yes, got you, Davey.
Gotcha. So I want to chime in on this, Mike, because this has been a sore spot for me for the last few years with the bat flips and everything else. Ray doesn't understand it for 2 reasons. Number one, he's young. He's of that generation. And number 2, he's never played baseball at that level. So back in the day...
At the Little League level?
At the Little League level. That's where it's
he
taught,
played at the Little League level. Ray was a Little League star.
At the Little League level.
Yeah.
Maybe you were too young to get to be taught the right way, which was when somebody flips a bat or stands there and stares at a home run or anything like that, the next batter's getting one in his chest, in his ribs.
That
like
doesn't
that's
happen
when I
anymore.
pitched. And that's the shame, Mike. And they allow this in Major League Baseball, and the players don't even look at it as disrespectful anymore. Like
but that's okay, Dave. It's really okay. The world evolves to the point where it's okay. I'm an old school guy to a point where I go, okay, they're doing that now. That's part of the game experience. Who cares?
Yeah, but I know, and Mike, I actually played against you in the MSBL league, so I know you understand. If somebody's disrespectful at the plate, they take a hard slide, they do anything like that, they're going to get one. They're going to get one thrown at them the next time up, and that's completely out of baseball now. And it needs to be taught at that young age.
No, I definitely agree with you that it needs to be taught at a young age. But at the major league level, I mean, have as much fun as you want. I don't care. It's such a power. When you hit a home run, you know it's gone. It's such an ego thing to stand there and watch it. I mean, that's got to be the coolest thing. It's like coming down on a fast break and dunking, posterizing somebody in a dunk. It's like you admire that. It's a moment of admiration. I had to tell you a story. I was pitching in one of these leagues, and a kid comes in, and he's got all the fancy doodads on. He's got the eye black. He's got the elbow pad. He's got the wristband. He's got the high socks, and he's digging. He's in home plate. I'm waiting to pitch. He's digging it. He's got his right foot. Like everything he saw on TV, he's doing. He's digging. Meanwhile, I'm going. So he finally gets ready. He finally, there wasn't the 15-second clock. Like he finally gets ready, and he's ready to hit. And I go, okay, wait. Right over the top of his head, I threw it. And he looks at me like I go, get in the frickin' box and swing the bat. But that stuff's not done anymore, Ray.
Yeah, I mean, we're short on time. Respectfully, Dave, you have no idea who I am.
Yeah, don't insult Ray. He was a Little League star.
It's not even that. It's like I was taught absolutely the right way to do things. I'm just against the guy being suspended. You're hearing what you want to hear and not what I'm saying. So
Ray's a little hot under the collar.
I am. I think that was disrespectful.
It was disrespectful.
I found it disrespectful, especially to talk about how I was raised, talk about whether I was taught the right way of the game. My parents would have kicked my rear end if I was on the other side of this thing. I'm just trying to have compassion for an 11-year-old that made a mistake.
Ray showing some anger. I like it. Thanks for listening, everybody. This was a fun show. Sometimes you get a topic that people can sink their teeth in, and everybody had it seems had an opinion on this. So stay tuned, because Bill Colarulo is about to rip Rob Thompson on Unfiltered. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Now on 90.